guess which student has a better chance?
No, we're not going to guess which student. I just wanted to start off with something. I keep seeing memes. So memes is usually an indication they won't fuck with you on copyright if you play the music. And I was correct. So despite being one of the biggest bands of all time in Duran Duran, they have let that shit go. Shout out to Duran Duran. Shout out to Cinch and Dildo. Rare appearance. It's been a while. Appreciate you being here. Cotton had to leave because of the puppets, but he should be back. He said he would. And Fizz Chozo. Apparently he's the #1 fan of the channel according to whatever analytic thing I forgot I put up there. So shout out to Fizz. Appreciate you being here. And then you know what, Fizz, you've talked about that XCOM. I did end up watching one of those playthroughs. I honestly think you should just do, because the thing is, it's not my cup of tea as far as that game, but it's somebody's cup of tea. Just do if you don't have the best mic situation, just do playthroughs of different games that you like, and people who like them will come. It might be whoever chats the most, which shows you how strong such a dildo that he's been going for like a month, and it still shows up as #2. He's the #2 guy, so it might be based upon whoever chats the most, because you're pretty consistent. You're a pretty consistent chatter, so you're the new #1. You have the power. But as far as your content, man, just do streams of stuff you like, man. And do clips of videos you like, string together, play through, and just even though it has no audio, just make that your thing. Just do no commentary playthroughs. If not on this channel, set up another channel for it. And yeah, I get that. Now, if you can get a cheap, decent USB mic, do that. I know. Didn't you say you had like a job application or an interview? Hopefully you did, and hopefully that went well. Howdy, Tom Jensen. But yeah, just do stuff you like, because you can't. I mean, everybody's struggling with growth. Even big channels are struggling with growth. YouTube is just struggling as a platform. I think YouTube is not in its heyday at all. It is losing to TikTok. They still didn't call back. I'm sorry to hear that. They're just YouTube is just not a great platform right now. It's great if you can get it, but it's just you got to pay to win. That's what they become a pay to win platform, and all these platforms have been. TikTok is probably the least pay to win, but people still pay to win over there. So that's the reality of the world. I've accepted it. When we drop pretty soon, we'll be paying to win. Yeah, and you can get them even better used. You can get them better used. Look for the Sennheiser, and then I think I have Auto Tech mic for my I think Auto Technica has an AT, I think 2020, that's USB version. No, they don't do targeted ads. I mean, they don't do targeted. It's a madhouse. So everything's pay to win. Only God knows if your ad's going to go to where you want it. They don't even target videos. Like I've been doing NFL videos this week, and we'll be continuing throughout this week. And I got to do the Vikings. I'll upload it tomorrow. I want to give it space, but they're not putting these videos on NFL videos. They're putting them on like all sorts of stupid shit. It's like they're not targeting anything. They're not algorithm anything. It's just a madhouse, and they don't know what they're doing, and you got to pay to win. So that's unfortunately the new wave. But appreciate you being here. Appreciate all y'all being here. We're gonna try Synthwave Saturday night through with the phone, because it does seem like they're trying to push vertical and phone streams. So I want to try that with a vertical stream, see how that goes. Maybe it sucks, but we're gonna experiment. We're gonna do that tomorrow night, and still posting the videos. And once we're finished, and we should be soon. I've just been bullshitting on finishing this album. I ain't gonna lie. I've been doing other stuff for a couple other songs. Let's just finish this shit up. Or EP. It's an EP. It's only 5 songs. And then we're going to do 5 songs for the hip-hop EP. Just keep that. Which is going to be even shorter because it just... I may do a couple more songs. We'll see. Do they target people for account suspension? I think so. Yeah, it's spray and pray. Good luck. And if buying stuff isn't ownership, pirating isn't stealing. So there's that. But I think they do target for account suspension time. They target. I've heard they target by IP address, and it's good to have a VPN when you upload. And I'm thinking about testing that out on my next upload. and using a VPN, seeing if that does something different. And then if it does, then we just keep switching locations to upload from. Because I don't know. Because even if the plan is to put some marketing dollars behind the music, but I'm not going to be putting thousands behind that shit. I don't even know that I'll put, we'll see. There's a plan. We got put out these couple projects, then start doing singles each month. And then when we have the strong enough material to put out a project. So, but with that means marketing on YouTube, marketing on TikTok and Instagram. And of course, happy 4th of July. You may hear fireworks in the background as my neighborhood blows itself up. A lot of different fireworks places. I think, was it here that a fireworks place called Fire? Got to be consistent with the drops. That's why I'm waiting. So I got enough material to be consistent. So okay, every month there's new material. That's what we're trying to do. So it's like, all right, it should line up that way. Yep, happy Independence Day, Americans. So much independence in America. You know why I say that? At least it's not like Britain, bro. Because the fact that you can't say, the fact that they are sending motherfuckers to jail for words, that's crazy. It's like, damn, it's a good thing we did lead the crowd. Like, y'all really are crazy with that shit. Y'all really are crazy. Also, if you don't know, you don't have to think much during gameplay moments of New Vegas. Just level up screens. Okay. I got to give New Vegas a shot. I know, I've been saying it. UK is not a serious country. They are sending motherfuckers to jail for offensive memes and all sorts of bullshit. And it's like, wow. It does, like, as much as we can talk about how bullshit shit is in America. I know, right? Where the fuck has he been? And apparently you're number 3 according to these metrics. I don't know. But yeah, man, like, Jesus, like, y'all send, there's a couple other European countries that do that shit. Like, y'all send the motherfuckers to jail over memes? Over memes? Whoo, that's crazy. And as a guy that values free speech, for better or for worse, man, it's like, okay, I'm happy to have free speech. Not the best political climate, but when has it ever been, right? It's not like the old celebrity pop star presidents were that great either, you know what I mean? Or pop star politicians. And yes, Ronald Reagan's a pop star politician. They've been doing that for a while. Kennedy, despite being, so beloved, and rightfully so, by the way, was a pop star politician. So that's what they've been running for 60 years, 70 years. So this is what it is. Yeah, you've been missed. Yeah, you can't critique. You can go to jail if you say certain things in certain countries. And that's, something we do take for granted. We do. I mean, you could be anybody and you can say fuck Donald Trump, and that doesn't mean anything at all. It means nothing. You can say fuck Donald Trump. You can say fuck Joe Biden. You can say fuck Barack Obama. You could have a bunch of George Floyd toys because you won't leave 2020 alone. You can do all that shit in America because it's fucking America. Whether people like it or disagree or feel like it's crazy, it's America. And it's like, damn it. You know what I'm saying? That freedom does fucking mean something. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this day and age where everything is online. That's the only little bit of solace some motherfuckers get is the crazy memes they can post and share online because rent is still high. Fucking the utilities are still high. Shout out to Houston Heat. But fucking electricity sky high. You know what I mean? You working all the damn time. I'm looking for a second job just to try to hopefully have the dream of dreams of buying a house. And the last little bit of freedom you might have is the shit that you say online. And I just can't imagine taking that shit away. I don't think that should have, hopefully I'm right, but maybe I don't think that should have happened in America. I don't know. Fizz did a stream. Check out the replay. And I'm sorry, Fizz. Hopefully you can't get a job, man. It's fucking tough. This is a tough job market, man. Tough job market. I did have one thing I did want to talk about. Let me see if I can find a video. It's just an interesting thing for those who care about sports and more in particular sports gaming. We're in this weird place with the major basketball game and the major football game is they're both monopolies. We have Madden for football, and that's done only by EA. And then we have 2K for basketball, and that's done only by Take-Two Interactive, formerly 2K Studios. And they have other things. They have WWE 2K. And then there's, what is it, The Show, which is a baseball thing. But it's some interesting stuff about the whole college game. And shout out to Soft Drink TV. I was going to do that. There's not an NFL 2K. And, the thing about that is, so far, this is the last year that not WWE, NFL and Madden, this is the last year of the license. It has not been renewed. Usually the license is renewed before it gets into the last year. So it shows that there's a good chance that we will get an NFL 2K in the near future. Now, they said the estimated development time will be about 3 years. So it's 2025. It will be 2K29 because 28, it would be in 28. So 29 would be the one that they would shoot for. And there's no more NHL games outside of 2K either. The Expanse game. Oh, yeah, I remember that Expanse game. It's coming out. Matt probably will stream it. You're right about that. Shout out to Matt Tholomew. Need to check in on him. Yeah, sports game isn't that great. This video gives you some
what's up, guys?
Little bit of hope, at least for college sports. And it looks like at bare minimum, we might get a college basketball 2020. I think it was 2027. Cause I think they might have already started, but let's see. This is was it Soft Drink TV? I saw this video. He covers sports gaming and retro games sometimes too. So let's EFAP this video.
What's up, guys? I've got a quick video for you. I'm a few days late, but you guys don't watch me for breaking news. You watch me for my opinions and analysis. While racing to be first can lead to a ton of views, I prefer taking some time to process things. 3 months ago, I released a video going over why we need a college basketball video game to return, and I theorized that we'd be getting one soon, and that EA seemed like the best choice to make one. This
not allow you play college sports games. You got an addiction. There's only one college sports game right now, outside of the old ones, unless you play the old ones. That's college football. And this is really talking about they're trying to make more college sports games between not just basketball, but baseball, and that the what's going on with the rights as well.
It was based on a report from Insider Gaming's Mike Straw, where he claimed that 2K and EA were having internal discussions about developing their own college basketball games after the popularity of College Football 25, and it turns out he was correct. On June 30th, Matt Brown, a trusted journalist in the college sports scene, reported that in a memo obtained by Extra Points, the CLC, the collegiate licensing company who represents more than 700 of the nation's top colleges, bowl games, and the NCAA, put out a request for proposal to bring back college basketball video games, with the CLC recommending EA's bid to create the game. Shortly after, perhaps to capitalize on the hype, EA Sports released a social media message shown here, confirming that a college basketball game is in the works. This sounds great on the surface. We haven't had a college basketball game since EA's NCAA Basketball 10 with Blake Griffin on the cover. And
right.
NBA...
So yeah, we haven't had a college basketball game since 2009, because again, a year behind. All this investment fund. Oh yeah, this investment fund money. That's why they call the NBA owners governors now. It's because they wanted to put somebody's because they're all owned by funds. They're not owned by like people anymore. And the few people that did own teams like Mark Cuban and we saw the Bush family, they're getting out. They're all getting bought up by funds, trust funds. So that's why they have a governor to represent the trust fund or whoever, or the investment fund, to be the actioner of things. Because otherwise, ownership would just be vague if they didn't put somebody's name on it. That's why the NBA's done that, because they're buying up everything. They're buying up everything. They're buying up. I told you, Richard, but there was a video I watched about how the WWE's trust fund, it's called Silver Lake. I had never heard of them. they own Endeavor and TKO, and they did some weird shit to basically take a $3 billion loan out and count it against UFC and WWE with that fancy legal money laundering marketing bullshit, that voodoo type shit that you can only do if you're a major corporation or a major investment fund, and they got $3 billion in debt, but it's really a loan. So it's real bullshit. So and that's another thing they do, that leveraged buyout. Well, they'll take debt in the process and charge it against the company while they take the cash off of it. Real evil shit. And that's every company on earth now. That's a lot of company. The company well, that's changing, but I don't know actually what's going on with the company I'm gonna be working for. One of the companies I worked for in the very recent past, they were just bought recently by a fucking fund. So, I mean, these funds are buying up everything. We know, like, the Black Rocks and the Vanguards and the those type of things, Berkshire Hathaway. Some of them are known, but I mean, there's so many of these fucking investment funds. They're buying up everything, and they're fucking up everything. And there's just no way around that. I don't know what you do. Hedge funds. Yeah, hedge funds. Hedge funds is probably a better term. Hedge funds. I said trust funds. They're not really trust funds. Don't let me be incorrect by the advice I give or don't give. But yeah, does seem insane. Well, the thing is, because of the monopoly college sports have, or sports games in general have, right? Because most of the sports games are so bad, people will just try, we'll try the next one to see if that works. And to be fair, college football seemed like it improved some of the things with Madden, but Madden is still too much RNG for me, and I'm not going to be playing it. Yeah, hedge funds did destroy GameStop. Yes, they bought up everything. Everybody gets mad at Behringer, but all these companies are managed by like hedge funds, all of them. I saw some of that where I saw Sequential. They released desktop versions of their new keyboards, but they jacked the price up of everything. So they're more expensive than the keyboard was a few weeks ago. Like, what the fuck? And they're owned by, I think, Focusrite, which is owned by a trust or a hedge fund. Sports games are all the same, just different players to change the real world. Trust funds, yes, there's a difference. Trust funds bank how rich people set up to accrue interest over 20 years so the rich bastards can party. Not quite the same as a hedge fund. You are correct. Not at all the same as the hedge fund. But yeah, the hedge fund is probably a better term. NBA is going to fall off Mount Everest. That's another thing. I don't see how I think a lot of sports in general are falling off. Because I think yeah, they did buy TC, so they've done their thing. But they at least are the company. They are the head. There's no fund over them. I mean, you can argue they're just as evil as all the hedge funds. But they are the company. At least they're there. And yeah, a lot of people don't like TC, or Midas doesn't have the same name it did before they bought them. Their synthesizer thing. I mean, I bought so many of their synthesizers, and there's a couple I still want. A couple other ones I still want too, but again, drop shit, so who cares? But yeah, man, that's if you want to know why everything sucks, hedge funds are a good reason. They're a good portion of that blame, because they have to show a profit. Or not, actually, some of them can be privated. Everyone is seeing the BS of every company, every sports league, every game company, to the point Nintendo has to lie about the game. It says, yeah, you say you don't believe it. I think a lot of people are skeptical of those numbers. I just don't see how you got 3.5 million people. I know it's a worldwide number, but to spend $500 plus on a game with no games. I mean, I know you got stands. I know Nintendo has so much brand loyalty, but you're telling me, and you know what's crazy? I was watching a documentary on the Super Nintendo, the Super Famicom, and though you know they waited a year so they could have more games at launch. The exact opposite of what they did this time. If they would have waited a year or two, they could have had more games at launch. And, you know, they also could have had a much more powerful system, even at the price point. They just got lazy. I don't care. You sold the shit to aliens across the multiverse. You're not selling $3 million. Not without games. You're not. Not without games. If you had a launch, you would think, because Nintendo's big strength is its IP, they would have had a new Mario, new Zelda, new Metroid. Yeah, they got new Mario Kart, but new Mario Kart, new Smash, all at launch, plus a bunch of other third-party games at launch. You would think that's what they would launch with. No, not them. Rowan says, it looks like UK and EU parliaments will be interfering with gaming. Let the laws flow. That's, oof. I just criticized the UK and their government. Yeah, I think they might be interfering with everything too. I don't know how good that would be. There definitely needs to be something with the gotcha games and the microtransaction shit. But I don't know. Those are not the brightest bunch to get in. Stop Killing Gaming looks like it has requires petition signatures to present to Parliament. I see. If they came, to start maybe a Pokemon. EA Sports were super gay. Yeah, just have a Mario Kart. You would have thought they would have waited till they had a full lineup of their killer IPs and had one of everything to come out. That's what you would think. And that would have been their priority the past 5 years. So when the Switch 2 launch, it's launching with heat. But nope. Yeah, there's way you don't have to buy the Switch 2. And because the Switch is not that powerful, you don't need the most powerful computer to play Switch games, if you catch my drift. Mario Kart's not enough. People are still going to buy it to get access to Nintendo IPs. Yeah, Xbox game division is crap. I mean, so is PlayStation. Their game division not much to write home about. All those games before 2018, exist, play those. Like I said, you can still get games after 2018. You don't necessarily have to pay for them. Said the wokies that ruin the EU coming after U.S. gaming. I don't think they'll be as powerful. I think that cultural movement has moved on. All those guys, the whole woke movement, all those people who were Richard and Fizz's age when that shit started are now like in their early 30s. They're not kids anymore. 2020 was 5 years ago. That was their era where they could impact shit like that. So they can have some little impact sometimes, but they don't run shit no more. Yeah, they're all, a little younger than me, because I'm old as fuck. Be 38 in a few months. EU hasn't moved on. That's true. UK is a bit gayer than the rest, and the EU is a little bit gayer than the rest. That's fair enough. But I don't know. And you know what? I will give you too, for better or for worse, they do look at the Orange Man as a cautionary tale. So that may give them a little bit more strength over there than I'll keep thinking of over here, where it's like I don't think anybody's gonna pay too much attention. It's just especially when you see in so few profits. I said they're 40 with the wife trying to hide what they did in 2020. I mean, some of these people definitely are a lot older and not in that same mind space. Shift to preventing anti-Semitism or online safety. We'll see. I'm not going to say no. I think that movement has a little less power, but I don't live in the UK. People misled. They don't know who they're talking to. But let's get back into this. Listen, and again, maybe we'll go through the whole thing, maybe not, but I still think it's interesting that it looks like we're going to have at least two companies making a college basketball game. That's what it looks like. And maybe, but at a cost of only one company making a college football game. Let's just continue.
2K hasn't had any competition from EA when it comes to basketball video games since NBA Live 19. This game not only makes more sense than a new NBA Live, but it fills a gap that's been empty for some time. EA's gameplay would be true competition to NBA 2K as well, especially if the game featured an online park-type mode. NBA 2K's official X account quoted an account saying 2K should be making the college basketball game by saying, "The campus has been quiet for too long," with a smirking emoji. This got many people thinking that 2K would also be making a game to compete directly with EA. Ronnie2K quoted this 2K post by saying, "Well then." There seems to be a strong implication here that 2K also has something in the works related to college basketball, or they're just pretending to be excited for EA for PR reasons. But here's the thing, EA's bid, the one the CLC put out in RFP 4, demands that EA is granted exclusive rights, specifically exclusive action simulation rights to making a CLC licensed college basketball game. Obviously, that sounds really bad and would prevent 2K from making a competing game. EA.
Okay, so long and short is, it looks like both 2K and EA are trying to come up with their own games for college basketball, but EA is trying to do so exclusively. But as the video goes on, it does look like they both are talking to the rights holders. Hey, Juice Cannon, Smello, happy Independence Day. Appreciate you. Fills a gap. That's the idea. I would like to see both companies make it, like, honestly, I think we need a third party. I think I made that video months ago, years ago, because I make videos on all this shit. I think we need a third party outside of 2K or Madden because they've gotten so lazy and so greedy. I don't know, though, that the rights are ever going to be cheap enough for a third party to afford. We had that boxing Undisputed game, which I still have, but I've heard nothing but mixed stuff about that. Even though I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was kind of fun. But I want at least, if we can at least get two companies making the same type of game again, which we used to have all the time. There was a NFL, MLB, which MLB I think had 3. MLB and basketball and college. We used to have multiple parties making products for all of them, and that created competition, that created different things. And then, of course, we had arcade style products like NBA Jam, NFL Blitz, later NFL and NBA 2 Street. I want to get back to that so sports games can get fun again, instead of, all right, every year, some idiot, and I hate to call you an idiot if you like these games, but you go, you buy Madden, you buy 2K, you spend hundreds of dollars on your team, and then you got to redo it all again next year because, you know what I mean, all that team doesn't count for 2K26. It was just the 2K25 team. So buy all these cards again and put all this work again. And then people are happy to do it. But I think most people aren't, but it's just that core audience that won't stop, can't stop, won't stop. The same people who buy a Switch in this era. What do you do? What do you do if there's enough rich wells to keep the hustle going? I don't know, but let's see what you guys are talking to. They are begging the people that arrested a 12-year-old, convicted and sentenced him to go to jail for a mean message on Xbox. This is what I was talking about for Independence Day. Like, much as I talk shit about this country, I'm glad I still have the rights to talk, because you don't have those rights over in Europe, and especially in the UK. Where they are lit. We was talking about this earlier. They send people to jail for mean messages and mean memes. UK is just that. It is crazy to see what's going over there in London. Because honestly, I don't ever want to go. I used to always want to go to Europe and just see how it is. Shit like that. Like, I don't really need to go there. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested in sports, so I'm interested. I think a college basketball game could be interesting. Whoa, late term abortions, you could do it till birth. That's sickening. That's sickening. Well, EA, they make Madden, like I said, Juice. They make Madden every year. There are 2 to 4 million people who buy it. I don't know how many people buy Madden. Let's say 5 million people buy it every year. 2 million of those 5 are going to spend hundreds of dollars a person to customize their online team, and then they're going to get wiped out by the new servers the next year, and then they're going to buy it again the year after that. And if there's a special extra super duper edition, they'll buy that too for $100. And so that's enough money. You get 200, 300 million each year, even if you only sell 4 or 5 million copies, which I don't know. Maybe they sell more than that. Maybe they sell 7 or 8 million. But whatever it is, they got enough people who are going to buy it, spend a couple $100 a piece on teams. There's at least 1 million of those fuckers, and that's really all they need. And so that's what keeps EA around. No, they're not making WNBA games. One thing, I don't know if they got into, the college basketball would have college women as well the proposed game, at least the EA version. I'm not sure if the 2K version would. All sports in real life is monopolies. Watching video games be very different. Good point, Fizz. Good point. Which Paul had a fight? Paul won. The guy that lost was deported. What? I think I see, was it Logan or I forget which Paul. Rather it was Logan or Jake Paul. But I didn't know the guy who lost got deported. God damn. He was fighting for his freedom for real. So apparently, yes, Fizz. Apparently, the UK, they are literally arresting middle schoolers for shitposts. Over 24 people in the UK have been arrested this year for meme messages and memes online. That's wild. Might still go to France to sell comics. Good luck. I don't know what the law. Check the laws. Check the laws before you get there, brother. Check the laws before you get there. But that's crazy. I was literally what we was talking about. Like, yeah, appreciate America, because you get to talk shit, and that's. I don't have to worry about my freedom. I don't have to worry about my job. I don't have to worry about shit. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, but they let AEW in London. That is kind of weird. I'm sure somebody at AEW has broken those rules. But if they don't do nothing, he said way more than that. 2K a year. Holy shit. We're not talking about NBA. 2,000 people plus a year go to jail for memes over in the UK. That's crazy. He said Ice nabbed his ass. That's crazy. That's crazy too. Imagine fighting this. Those fights are pretty big, and then you get fucking caught by Ice. France is the place to grow. I see. Got a homie that moved there to work as a comic artist. So there you go. Maybe France is the place. Still early in my info. Might be a month or two old. Fair enough. CM Punk by himself. Yeah, you're right. He said a lot of crazy shit, hasn't he? Shit, even that shit he said about the Saudis, like talking about sucking on their blood money dick and shit like that. I don't know. I forgot when he said that, and I forgot, but those rules are not new. So yeah, I think that was enough to get him in some trouble. If they arrested people for all the shit they arrested people for. All right, peace out, Juice. If you don't understand the XCOM story I have going, watch the 1 month compilation. France's comic publishing is very developed. I've heard about French comics supposed to be like some of the best ones. That's pretty cool. That's dope. You know what I mean? So shit, maybe that is the thing to do. Take a chance. Who knows? You only get one of these. So you're trying to make a story out of your XCOM gameplay. I see. That's pretty dope. I didn't know. I had one of them just in the background while I was trying to make beats and stuff. It was, I'm not gonna act like I was paying the most attention, but it was pleasant to be on the background. I know that's not. I mean, I sound like high praise, but I mean, shit, that's a lot. I'll be happy to just be background material at this point because it's so hard to get on in this YouTube game. So yeah, shit, maybe that's the move. And shit, don't let nobody hold you back if that is the move. All right, back to this nightmare. I'm not sure how long we're gonna do. As long as we get to the main points, I think I'll be okay. But let's see.
EA claims this is to maximize the opportunity due to the significant investment of building a new basketball game from scratch. What it really means is they don't want what happened to NBA Live to happen to their college basketball game. They don't want competition out of the fear that another company like 2K will make something better and hurt them financially. I think that's a terrible thing. That made me curious, however, about the state of College Football 26, EA's upcoming college football title. Does EA hold exclusive rights to making college football games? I've wondered this for some time, because it doesn't seem to be public information if they do or don't, and I've been assuming 2K could theoretically make a competing college football game if they wanted to. So I reached out to Insider Gaming's Mike Straw, and he put in a FOIA request to find out. He got an update that yes, EA does indeed hold the exclusive action simulation rights for college football video games via the CLC. If that hasn't been publicly confirmed yet, it is now. As much as we all wanted to see college sports games return, EA...
So long and short, they have the exclusive rights. EA has had the exclusive rights to college football. Nobody else can make a college football game. So they want the exclusive rights to basketball. it seems like that's up in the air, and they might lose the exclusive rights to football. Hey, Glenzer, been a retro gaming. That's pretty dope. PS2 Darkwash. I haven't been paying that much attention, Fizz. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've not been paying that much attention to know, unfortunately, man. I just saw, like I said, I've seen the stuff that you're playing. And I just had it would happen to go more on in the background. I just let it play out, and it was interesting enough. But I haven't been watching from the beginning to watch everything to know. Oh, there's a story going on and all that. I was just kind of chilling and watching, and just like I said, kind of had it as background stuff as I do something else. So, and I just from what I see, I get enough to see that the gameplay. It just doesn't seem like my type of game personally. Even though I've watched, like, I've done, I've even played some turn-based type stuff. It was just not quite. That's more of like almost like a strategy type thing. So I've basically had it in the background, wasn't paying the hardest attention. So I apologize for that, man. But yeah, going back to this, EA does have exclusive rights to college football, which sucks. And I hope they lose exclusive rights to regular football. We'll see how that goes. That's still in, we'll see how Madden goes. A lot of people are pushing people not to buy Madden this year to hope that maybe if the sales are a little lower, that impacts whether or not they get the exclusive rights, rather than not the NFL opens them up and lets 2K and other entities make NFL games.
Holding an exclusive license to make them is really bad for consumers. No matter how little they update future titles, or how bad they potentially get, if only EA can make them, they will sell, and no company can create a product that competes directly. As we've seen with Madden, where EA has held the exclusive simulation rights to the NFL license since 2005, this usually ends poorly. Monopolies are bad. This is universally known to be true. So this college basketball game seems like it might follow the same path, if EA's bid is accepted as is. I did have someone reach out claiming to work for an affiliate company related to the situation, and he said that the CLC was negotiating with both EA and 2K, at least as early as December of last year. He said EA is trying to artificially dominate the market by getting exclusive rights, but 2K is also trying to make a game here and battle for those rights. Also of note, he said college baseball games are right around the corner. Perhaps EA won't be granted exclusive rights if 2K makes a compelling enough offer, and since there was no evidence that 2K wanted to make a college football game, perhaps that's why EA was able to secure exclusive rights there. It would be ideal if both EA and 2K and even other companies could make college basketball games, but we'll see. The situation is developing. For now, we know that EA is starting development on a college basketball game while the licensing details are not finalized.
All right. So that's the semi-positive as more fireworks explode, that they are negotiating for the rights, and it looks like both 2K and EA are negotiating for the rights for college basketball. It does suck that EA has an exclusive college football rights. It does suck that all the other exclusive rights, but maybe this will open it up, at least for college basketball. And again, this is the last year for football. I haven't heard about a renewal. I think everyone wants to see what Madden does this year, and if the numbers are good, they may renew it. But we'll also see how much 2K/Take-Two wants to put in for a bid. And again, it's not like as much as people hate EA and they're greedy, I mean, Take-Two is a GTA 6 publisher, so let's not act like they're not a money-hungry franchise or company as well. I don't know if there's more to it. Let's see. You heart that, MLB or nothing. All right, good night. All right, peace out, Fizz. Appreciate you being here. Who bothers you by college baseball? I think that is a bit much. College baseball is not known. Pedocon, Anthrocon. What is it? I'm scared to ask what Anthrocon is. Forbidden Ruin. College baseball is a deep cut. Yeah, MLB or nothing. It's like, I can't imagine too many people are looking for college baseball. That might be a gamble on the gamblers. Like, I don't know. Just like a WNBA, I don't see all furry count. Oh, Jesus, yeah, you were right the first time then. Oh, boy. And apparently that's our IT. That's the IT for the country. They're all furries. I don't know why that is, but they are. And that's sick shit. That's sick shit. But apparently, yeah, most of our IT department is good. Wade, who sometimes comes around here, he likes the college football. It looked like they improved a lot over Madden, at least the last one. But I don't know, man. I still think Madden is an RNG game. EA Sports games are RNG. Now, I know there's going to be some RNG in the sports game, period, but it's too much RNG. So last year, the local Pittsburgh news showed a bunch of BDSM freaks attended. That's girl. Well, did he attend? Got to celebrate with his people, maybe. Pittsburgh's not that far from New York. Is Diddy out officially? Or is he not? I don't know how that worked. I know he was guilty of a couple charges, but obviously the major charges, which I semi-predicted. There was nothing. There was no evidence of a criminal organization. It also looks like he's owed $2 billion by the people who own Ciroc. He wasn't given bail, but he hasn't. Okay, so he wasn't given bail. When the sentencing for the two charges? And I mean, they could say time served. It probably should. I mean, he's been in jail, what, like 2 or 3 years, right? So, I'm not sure how that's going to work. Yeah, he was acquitted of the big one. Yeah, so I'm not sure how that's working. Listen, nobody wants to... A lot of people went to those parties. Steelers. Steelers. Steelers are going to be an interesting team to do a profile on when we get to them. They just made a big trade this week. I don't know how big that trade's going to end up being. It might end up, well, I can see it being a good trade for both. Steelers keep going with these old DBs. I mean, I don't know how many of these they need. More QBs than linebacker. And then they got whatever he served, he's not going to serve it in a real jail. A year of the summer camp, basically. Camp fed, going back to Diddy. But, they got Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron Rodgers, he was a top 10 quarterback last year as far as touchdowns and yards, for whatever that's worth. He is a good cornerback, but he is a little bit older. I think he's over the age of 30 or right around it. And they have a habit of getting cornerbacks at as they get older, at least the past few years. But Ramsey is a good player. And they didn't have to really give up much. Plus, they got a potential good player in the tight end. He had a good year last year, but that's the only year he's been good. So we'll see. And he drafted 4 QBs. Sheesh. I don't know. We'll see. They're going to be an interesting team because they could, everybody's predicted 9-8 as a joke and 10-7 kind of as a joke. They can mess around and win. Yeah, I am going to be on that. I was just thinking about that. When to start kind of covering that. Like, I got Canelo Crawford because I already got thoughts of it because they're starting to promote it. My thoughts, honestly, I'll give you a too long, don't read early thoughts about Canelo and Crawford. I have been more impressed over the past 4 to 5 years with Terrence Crawford, or 4 or 5 years of their career, because there's a caveat with that. The last couple, though, he's only been fighting once a year. And Terrence Crawford has kind of not had this perception amongst him that he's a cherry-pick fighter. In fact, more people will tell you Canelo's a cherry-pick fighter. But, for whatever, it took a while to get that negotiation with Errol Spence. I think that was to Errol Spence's detriment because of all the accidents, plural, because it wasn't just one, the alcohol abuse, all that shit. I think that Errol Spence took years off his own career doing that shit. So it ended up hurting him. But that, whatever it took, those negotiations did not come together smooth. The last time Terrence Crawford was in the ring was against Madrimov at 155. he beat him, but he did not look like Terrence Crawford when coming up to weight. So my thought was, I get they're the same size, but Canelo is used to hitting. This is basically what I'm going to say in my review unless something changes. Canelo is used to hitting and getting hit by bigger humans. I get they're the same size, but everybody does that weight bully bullshit where the average guy, even Canelo himself, walks around at almost 200 pounds. So everybody does that shit where, oh, well, he's really 180. Well, okay. What are they used to getting hit by, though? What are they used to hitting guys? So he had a year plus after Majimov. If he would have taken a fight in between, and he didn't even have to fight a great guy, but just somebody who was 160 pounds or heavier, I would feel a lot more comfortable about picking Terrence Crawford than I do. That said, I still want to debate who I would pick. I wouldn't bet on this one. I know a lot of people will. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't bet on this one. That's the thought is Canelo's been cruising, but he's used to hitting guys heavy. But he might, I don't know. I'm not betting on this one. Because I'm worried that watching that Majimov fight, I got to rewatch that. Because that was the fight. I'm like, this guy is, probably going to be in the ring 20 pounds lighter than Canelo. And listen, there's also something we said about I don't know what they're doing over in Eastern Europe when it comes to fighting as a whole. Those Eastern European fighters are great. Whether you know their name or not, whether it's UFC, whether it's boxing, they're almost always incredible. Not to glaze cinch a dildo, but they're almost always incredible. So this Majimov guy might be a monster. But I did not like the way he looked to be going up to go against Canelo. But like I said, Canelo, you want to talk about a cherry picker. You know what I'm saying? He's not been fighting the top tiers competition, especially the 2020s. He has not been fighting top tier competition by any stretch of anyone's imagination. So he's not necessarily the most battle tested guy either. No, Aaron Rodgers ain't going 0-17 is crazy. They're not going 0-17. I think they could win 10 or 11 wins. They could actually win 12. They could actually win a division. But that would take Aaron Rodgers' ball. I mean, he does have Metcalf. He does. We'll see what the rookie running back does. They got rid of Najee. I like Najee. I know a lot of people didn't because Najee wasn't that fast, but I like power running backs because I'm fat and slow. So fat and slow running backs. I'm like, yeah. Not to say Najee's fat. He's not, but I mean, technically, he had a top 10 years, even though Aaron Rodgers is also known as stat pad. He's he's also the guy that would miss the playoffs and they have like 4,500 yards. You're like, wait a second, you're the number one quarterback, but your team won like 5 games. How did that happen? He's pretty good at stat padding, so I will give you that. So that doesn't mean he was actually a top 10 quarterback, but by the numbers, he was. That happened a couple times where he was one of the top quarterbacks statistically. And it wasn't like Joe Burrow where they were close to the playoffs but missed. They weren't close. They were like 6 wins, 5 wins. He has 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. Like, well, how is this happening? What are you not doing? Why are we losing so much if you're putting up these numbers? Said Canelo can't knock out your grandma. He does not. He is not putting max effort. He's doing. We just talked about Madden, and actually, we're probably done with this story. We just had this conversation about sports games. Canelo is doing that to his fans. There are fans who are just gonna. If a Canelo fight is on, they're gonna pay for it. They're just gonna pay for it twice a year. They don't care. They're gonna have a party. They're gonna watch Canelo fight some schlub. He's not gonna try hard, but he's gonna win, and everyone's gonna be happy, and everyone's gonna have a party at night. It doesn't matter if the competition's good. That's the hustle that Canelo's been able to run the whole 2020s. It's twice a year, 3 times a year sometimes. He did start off the 2020s, going at least 3 times a year. And I think he at least would try to get some champions involved. Now he doesn't. It is not that far off from what Jake Paul does. It is not that far off. It is the professional version of what Jake Paul does. So We'll see. Well, you said the judges. I mean, Canelo is known. The alleged rumor that Canelo is the. That is the best bet. If you are going to bet distance, I would say distance. This is going to distance. Crawford got 0 losses. He got the judges. Oh, I saw the highlights. Charlie O got hit by the Drake curse again. I saw the highlight. I wanted to see that live, but I ended up forgetting. You think the Steelers might trade Rodgers? They could. I didn't think about that. That wouldn't be a bad idea. They might get, because of just how the quarterback position is, you can get an extra first rounder and then maybe use that to draft your quarterback because somebody panics and just tosses you a first rounder for Rodgers. Maybe. I didn't think about that. We'll see. There's going to be some weird trades in training camp. There always are. So we'll see how that goes. I didn't even think about that at all. But yeah, you're not wrong, Glenzer. The best bet is distance. And hey, listeners, happy July 4th. You may again hear fireworks going back. Hey, Cotton's back. Appreciate you being back. You can stat pad in football. You can stat pad if you go against bad teams and you get all your statistics there. So let's say you play in amongst 4 games, you get a game where you get maybe 150 to 175 yards. One game, 100, same thing, maybe 225 yards. The next game, you didn't really do shit. You didn't really look that good. But then you play 2 games against some puff teams, and you get 400 yards a game, 4 touchdowns. So now over that period, you've averaged what? You've averaged 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns in 4 games. It's like, oh shit, you're doing great. But 2 of those games you were shitty, 2 of the games you were dope, and it was because you went against trash teams. So if you're able to put up crazy numbers against the trash teams you win against, you win 6 games. You really only had 6 good games and a bunch of mid-ass games, but the way the numbers add up, it looked like you had a good season. So that's how it works. Keeping up with the basketball Americans. Oh Lord. God, way to go fucking Instagram meme immediately, the basketball Americans. Like the Illuminati show they doing. Yo, that the halftime show gotta stop being evil. Make the halftime show wholesome again. What the fuck? I remember that one year they had Weekend. It was like all red and black and demons. Like, what is this shit? Like, why is this so fucking evil? I know my logo is like red and black, but still. It's like, I guess it's red with the audio, so I don't know. Still. Jeez. To pair Kato, Volk, Holloway, and Oliveira in a row, that is crazy. Sheesh. Bo Nix is going to have a good year, but that is crazy to think that Taporia, and I'm messing up his name, did all that and like back to back to back. We'll see if Dana pushes him. I mean, I guess he kind of has to now. Jeez, that's nuts. That's nuts. I haven't been keeping up with UFC as much as I wanted to. Yeah, the halftime show absolutely needs Jesus. Travis Kelce is not only he's playing 4 times better, he's getting more money from sponsors, way more money from sponsors than he is from the Chiefs. Like, he's got a contract with Pfizer. They gave him $20 million last year. The Chiefs only gave him $17 million. That's just one sponsor. You see this asshole in all sorts of commercials. That's why he's a fucking Skeletor. It's for these commercials. He don't give a fuck. So yeah, he's the numbers when I would love to see the referee calls. Man, that's going to be really the most difficult team to predict because really they should, if the NFL did not openly cheat for the Kansas City Chiefs, this should be a fall off year. They were really one of the worst teams last year, but just won a bunch of games. There was only like five teams that didn't score over 30 points. I think they had one game at 30 points. And the other 4 were all teams well under the playoff number, were like 5 or 6 wins, and it was them. And yeah, their defense is still decent, but they don't have the receivers they once did. They're not as good of a team as they once were. But for some reason, they just, demonology. They keep getting to the Super Bowl, and it's like this should be the year that kind of falls off. Want to be a WNBA referee, get paid, don't even need to show up. I wish I had the ball to bet on the WNBA. Apparently that's the easiest bet. Is bet on Angel Reese missing. He's being smashed by a summon skull. Yeah, sort of. I would hate to be a stat recorder, having to record all those bricks and me bounds, as they're now called. Yeah. Her keep missing the shots. I'm surprised gambling sites are allowing that bet. Because at a certain point, they stop allowing bets. You brought up UFC since you had me bounds. What are your thoughts on UFC in its current and then John Jones retired without ever fighting Tom. It feels like they're not really doing a good job at making stars. Like they're trying to pick guys who I don't think are, with Patty and Sean O'Hara, I don't dislike either. I mean, I went through a period not liking Patty, but he's kind of earned my respect. But they're kind of trying to seems like they're trying to pick and choose who they want to be stars, independent on who's actually a good fighter. And it just seems like there's only a short, shelf life at being the top. Remember when Izzy was the guy? Pepperidge Farms remembers that. And that was years ago now. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to stay up top. And it's hard they're star making, they're not as good as making these stars as they once were. Certainly not with the Irish asshole, Conor McGregor, but they're not even as good as the Chuck Liddell Rampage era at making stars. It seems like when they have somebody, they don't want to push them. Like they don't want to. They're like, they'll pick some. Oh well, it just seems like I don't know. Yeah, they've been all over the place. And I think that's hurting the sport a little bit. Dana and I know they're corporate owned too. They're owned by apparently Silver Lake, which owns Endeavor, which owns CKO. So they got somebody who's got somebody else. So that's no good. So why do they keep? Why these lesbians keep trying to grape Caitlin Clark? I don't know, man. I still don't get the hype. Like I get the hype as her as a player. I mean, she looks like she's a dope player, but I don't get the hype when people trying to glaze her looks. I'm lost on that. Oh, Brittany Griner. Brian Grinder, man. Isn't that confirmed a dude? What happened to that story when it was confirmed that she was a dude that got her girlfriend pregnant and then it just disappeared off the face of the earth? McGregor was a unicorn marketer. You can't invent that shit. No, you can't invent that shit. And, I mean, it's easy to forget. He was a great striker. It wasn't like he talked a lot of shit, but he was also incredible at what he did. Like the infamous Aldo knockout, he planned it. He was practicing it in the fucking dressing room. He planned it. It wasn't just, I'm just some asshole swinging for the fences. He knew what he was doing. So, yeah, you're right. There is lightning out of the bottle. You're not going to get somebody. It's very hard to get somebody with that type of personality, that type of talent at the same time. It's borderline impossible. You know what I'm saying? And then you have guys like Mighty Mouse, who we don't see his personality until he's long retired. You know what I'm saying? Till he's retired or at the semi-retired stage. I don't know if he still does stuff with one. But now you see, oh, man, he's pretty cool. And they didn't want to push Mighty Mouse at all. So it's like, yeah. Three of her teammates on Instagram Live were trying to grind on her. She was like, nah. It seemed like that she's dating. There's a couple other white girls that she's around. And it looks like almost feel like she's dating them. They need a Tyson-like dominant fighter. For a little bit, they had Chuck Liddell into Rampage. And that Chuck Liddell Rampage, what's the other guy who knocked out Chuck Liddell? Oh my God. Was it oh my God. Hold on, I gotta look up. Harry Potter, Anderson Silva type. Yeah, Anderson Silva, but that's not the guy. Who was the guy I was thinking of? Rashad. No. Can't think of his last name. Now I gotta look up. Sorry. Rashad Evans. Shit. Rashad Evans. I mean, when they were kind of the top light heavyweight guys, they had a little run of those three being kind of dominant for the little era they was dominant for, and into eventually the John Jones era. But that's what I was thinking of. You also had Anderson Silva. You also had GSP. They were pretty dominant for their era. GSP lost some fights. Anderson Silva played. If you only watch the fights, all that shit around it makes me cringe. I'm with you on that. I just don't like the idea of when there's a good fighter, them not getting the best fights. Stipe too, yeah. Stipe was in there too. But I mean, that was over the course of some years. That wasn't just like 1 year, they're all there. That's a 4 or 5 year run of all these guys being kind of the top or up amongst the top. To me, it's better when you have that, but it's not as easy to get. I don't know. I know paying guys not a lot is not great. I mean, it's cool if you just want a bunch of Dagestanis to just run UFC, or a bunch of Dagestanis, a bunch of Brazilians to run UFC, which maybe you do because it's cheaper. You just outsource the labor. You don't give a fuck. I mean, that's fine. But I think you definitely got to, not paying as much. And I know boxing, I've heard the argument that, well, boxing doesn't really pay more because you look at how many no-name boxers don't get paid. And that's fair enough. But when you talk about people who have real, legit, freaky physical talent, some of them might go into boxing that don't go in the UFC. You are competing with those guys that are 18 to 24 and have freak athletes and combat experience of some level, whether it's amateur wrestling, amateur fighting of some sort. At least she would have do. Listen, all the best. I do hope she stays straight going to the WNBA. I hope she stays for America. Never liked UFC. Being more forgiving to wrestlers. I agree. I think it hurts people in the real life. I keep seeing a bunch of guys try to wrestle and then they get slammed and kicked in their head and shit because they think, oh, well, it works in UFC. It works because, and a lot of these grapplers have gotten cocky in real life. It's like, no, it works because you can't get kicked in the head. You can't get stumped. You can't get you're protected by rules. That's why it works. If these rules don't protect you, it doesn't work anymore. And I'm surprised maybe in a corporate era they don't want to even risk it because it's just, well, we're corporate. They're going to have a UFC on the fucking White House lawn allegedly next year. We'll see if that actually happens. That might be bullshit, but he said that. So, I mean, I know, yeah, you can say, oh, Trump's controversial, but like he's mainstream controversial. He's still like somebody that millions and millions of people know and watch and shit. It's not like, I don't know. That's not the same as, if that event happened and somebody gets punt kicked and they're like, oh my God, this is a blood sport. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason they won't do it. But it does give wrestlers an advantage they don't actually have in fighting combat wise, because it's a disadvantage to go to the ground in a real fight. But it's not a real fight; it's a sport. Shout out to Trish Stratus, man. I don't know how listen. Umar just going to be mad at me. Trish Stratus is a good looking woman, man. Umar just going to be mad, bro. And she's like she's got to be close to 50 to be still looking that good. How old is Trish Stratus? I seen this shit came back again. She's basically been like kind of part time. She's 49 years old. Patricia Ann Stragius. So her name's kind of Trish. That's crazy. Stragius. Is she Greek or something? I'm looking at. I don't know. She's Greek. Greek and Polish. All right. She won the genetic lottery. She won the Caucasian genetic lottery, man. No disrespect. In Pride, motherfucker Sprawl, your takedown attempt. Those knees, yeah. Knees would injure ass. That's the now you don't have such a great advantage at, like, you know, it's a greater risk to take down. Right now, all this, oh well, if my takedown gets blocked, but like, no, what if I get hit in the head with a knee or something? At least allow knees. They can at least allow knees to the head or ground that opponent. That would be enough. That would be more than enough. Get hyped for her, because I remember she wasn't around until she came back for the first woman to rumble. Yeah, she did. What was that? She's been kind of like a part-timer, not ever since, a few years she's missed. But yeah, that getting hit by a knee if you miss a takedown attempt makes a takedown attempt much more of a risky proposition. But they don't want to. We'll see if that stays that way. I kind of feel like that it might because of all the corporate ownership. Nikki Bella, Trish, and Nikki look a lot better than the younger wrestlers like Roxanne Perez. She went too far with Nikki Bella. I keep thinking about Nikki Bella ratchet ass story. I can't think of her throwing shit at her baby daddy or whatever the guy is, getting arrested. I don't know if she was drunk or something. So I just keep thinking, man, this is just a ratchet single mother. Like, it happens to be Nikki Bella, but this is just a ratchet single mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to be 1,000%. Just to be 1,000%. So that's why I kind of I don't know if I still look at her the same. I like Roxy, which was her name when she won the belt at 17. I did not know that. I can see a lot of hype about Roxanne Perez. She's cute. I mean, shout out to Latina girls. I mean, I'm in Texas. I see a lot of Latinas. But I keep seeing a little hype behind her. Honestly, they're at a weird place. It seems like Dom is putting over more women than anybody. And being in that little Dom circle of between Rhea, she still has mommy and shit on her shit because of the shit with Dom. And then between now they got Roxanne and Liv doing the same thing. Dirty Dom is getting these women over more than anybody. Like, literally getting every one of these women that he deals with ends up being a superstar. Then they showed the shit with him when he was young and with Trish, and people got mad at that. And that was just off of Instagram. They posted a picture of, she was holding Dom when he was like a kid back in the day, and then they recreated it with her holding Dom now. It was motherfuckers jealous of that. Jealous of Dom being held by Trish Stratus now. So it just seems like Dom is doing better. Just off the drama of Dominic is really, and just social media is getting girls over more than the actual product on screen. So she needs a new finisher. Raquel, yeah, it looks like with that injury. I mean, well, it looks like they're adding her to the Judgment Day, so they're gonna do the same storyline they did with Rhea when Liv gets back. So I don't know. She lifted weights. There's some strong girls out there. There's girls that can squat like 300 pounds and shit. So apparently she got some strength to her. Because I don't know how the hell she lifted, or maybe it was AI and or some bullshit like that. Raquel and Stephanie Vicaz look good. I don't know if they get a push. Kel could have been like Beth Phoenix. Could have been. She does got some size on her. That what they call it, the glamazon and muscle. And that's, Lord no, that's a hot fetish in these streets. Muscle mommies. WWE is still in this weird place with the women where they're still kind of soft marketing their sex, but they're using social media to market these women more than anything. I see more stuff with the women with social media. Even somebody like Naomi, you see all this shit on social media. Now, Nia Jax should have been wrestling men. They did that one Rumble where she was in the Rumble. That was a pretty cool moment. And then when she get RKO 619, I can't remember the last finisher. That was actually a cool moment. When she showed up in the Rumble, I think she may have thrown one or two people out. Then they all jumped her. Your girl Izzy Dame. I don't know if I remember who Izzy Dame. Oh wait, Izzy is that what's her name? The girl that used to be Bailey's super fan, or am I thinking of somebody else? Women can't claim feminism in WWE now that they bow to Saudi Arabia or ban men telling them how to dress. Oh, that shit, Brian Breaker girl. Man, everybody forgets about that girl. She should be lucky that Brian Breaker even know who she is. I forget her name. But no, they can't claim. You know what? They haven't really been on that feminism shit recently. At least that I've seen. But yeah, they all wear those people joke call them Power Ranger suits where they to wrestle. I don't know. I mean, they still are pretty tight though. Like you still see enough. Like I'm surprised we haven't had a malfunction. Of course, they could do anything, bro. They can do stuff now. No, they haven't really been pushing that film, which is good. I mean, listen, if they want that women's division to thrive, they know what to do. And they deep down do know what to do. And I'll tell you why they know what to do. Because even Rhea still posts thirst traps pictures to this day. And the second they get released, they on OnlyFans. They know what to do. The women know what to do. It's just less. They're just less overt. They're not going to do bra and panties matches. I don't know why they won't when they're just the women are showing so much sex on Instagram, but they just don't want to. And again, they're corporate now. They're owned by the same company. It's just talking about UFC. So there is that, well, we got 1,000 sponsors. We don't want to piss off Wheatley or Slim Jim or Snickers or whatever fucking other sponsor they got, or Prime. So we're not going to piss them off. That NASCAR suit. Yeah, that's all that's missing. They're going to start putting sponsors on their ass. They got those little jumpsuits. They're going to start putting sponsors on their ass cheek. That's what they're going to fucking do. Diva bra and panty matches. In this corporate world, I don't see it. They'll let those girls post ass pics on Instagram all day. But to actually go on TV with a bra and panties matches, I don't see it. I'd rather keep it how it is. Don't want a bra and panties matches or divas. Just your opinion. Fair enough. Want to see wrestling? They banned pit girls in F1. It's pathetic. Speaking of F1, did you see the movie yet, Cincha? And if so, what did you think of it? And how did you see it? 'Cause I think that's one of the few movies that seeing it in a nice theater will have a definitely different impact than you seeing it on a whatchamacallit. Yeah, I did check the movie out and I liked it, but I saw it in a theater with decent screen, decent sound. And this movie wasn't trying to be Shakespeare. I haven't seen her. It is entertaining. It's a movie I would recommend to see in theater unless you got a crazy system at home, because that had a huge. What makes it entertaining is just, basic shit. Fast cars go zoom. You put really expensive, really well equipped cameras on these super fast F1 cars. And it fucking looks incredible, and you feel it, man. It's very simple. You saw Warfare in theater, fair enough, cool. It's definitely something I would recommend go see at theaters, especially if you got a theater with some good sound. Like it took me a few hours to get back to reality. It felt like going to go-kart race for 2 hours, but like with the fastest go-karts on earth, but you were just sitting there. It's not superheroes. It's a non-superhero movie. It's a Jerry Bruckheimer movie I'm sure there was CG, but not noticeable CG. Did not rely on CG. It was relying on, again, I don't know what type of fucking cameras they had. Had incredible cameras on incredible cars going super duper fast, going beyond bonkers fast around, I believe, actual F1 tracks. It's a fun movie to watch. It's a fun movie to watch. You don't have to be super invested in the story to like that movie. If you want those type of moments with a character, it has to be like Tiffy time. Not to make it every week. It's a good price. That's true. You can't just spam it. You want 90s cameras? I'd rather go see a trans rom-com than Cape shit now. Oh, man. I told myself I was going to see Superman. I am not excited at all to see that, man. They're scared. That is crazy. They released it July 11th and not this weekend. They're scared, and they should be, because didn't Whatchcall release this weekend? They weren't scared. Jurassic World. And honestly, we're supposed to see that. I'd rather see Jurassic World than Superman. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you at all. We probably will end up seeing both, me and my brother. But I have, even watching the trailer, while watching F1, the trailer before, I'm just like, this just doesn't look good, man. Hey, Zombie, appreciate you being here. I'd rather see a WNBA game than Superman. Shout out to Optimus, man. Go ahead and put your link in the chat. You got an original character on his Wattpad. Please check it out. No music tonight. That's cool. We ain't about to kick you out. You can just chill. We will have music tomorrow. We're doing Synthwave Saturday night tomorrow night. Ford vs. Ferrari is decent. I thought about seeing that movie after seeing F1. I know it's for a few years old. A lot of people liked it. Seen it, have had pretty positive reviews. But, I mean, we do have as long as it's not. The reason I wasn't sure about the reviews, because a lot of people are just like, oh, man, it's not woke. It's great. Like, I mean, that's elite. You know what I'm saying? You still got to make something good. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, Zombie. Some fucked up mentally high, just trying to keep busy. Wait, there's no reason not to chill. And hey, Small Time Public, Guns trailers looks too CW. Not only does it look too CW, it looks like the CW Superman actually was better. If you watch clips, we can fucking do this. Let me prove what I just said. Let me not. Hey, Zax. Black man, fuck Black Myth Wukong. Fuck that game. And yeah, check out Retro Richard's Wattpad. Danica Patrick movie. There's a Danica Patrick movie. Ozzy's last show is tomorrow. Oh, man. It's like, he's like a legend. That's crazy. Shout out to Ozzy. His last show is tomorrow. But let me see if I can, I'm going to show parts of the trailer and I'm going to show the CW Superman. Y'all tell me which one y'all think is better. You're not going to, at bare minimum, it's not going to be like, oh, this CW Superman is so much worse than the one they're using. The Superman and Lois. I've seen clips from that, and I haven't checked out the show. But I'm more interested in that than... So, let me see. The hell? I'm not trying to watch whatever this is. So, you got commercials, of course. I'm trying to find something that's good. It is got a playlist with clips from the show. And I'm trying to find something that has a little action in it as I look through this shit. What is this shit? Okay, this looks like it might have action. Alright, let's actually go back to back with Superman and Lois. And Superman is coming out next week. We'll show back-to-back clips. And you tell me. Maybe you think this is better. Let's see. Hawkman and Hawkgirl movie. Maybe. I mean, listen, if you could do something well, you could do it. But, I mean, the superhero genre has been so polluted. Danica's that Nash chick, I don't think she's that hot. I always thought she was overrated. looks wise. I mean, you see girls that look like her. I don't think she's smoking hot, but she's cute enough. And 2000, yeah, that's true. 2000, nobody thought Ozzy would still be around 2025. I'm still a little bit shocked that he is around. It's just shots of glass ceilings being shattered. Yeah. So, oh yeah, she did used to fuck with Aaron Rodgers. He finally coming out, you gay boy. Oh Lord. Let's see some of the trailer. They're gonna get me on this, but I don't give a fuck. Okay.
Are you being serious right now?
Let's skip through some of this. Oh.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Cronkite,
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might. It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman.
Okay. And then we get this. And we get this.
My neighborhood, and you're spinning it like I'm the bad guy? I'm the damn hero!
I mean, the CG is certainly worse. But it doesn't feel like it's something that has some massive difference. Oh, the CG is bad.
Even you can't save all of them.
He should be fast enough to catch both. And she's tasing. Oh, God. I gotta have some woman power. So what's going on here? Let's go back.
Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States.
Representing anybody except for me.
There's some of that glass cracking
Doing
though.
good.
Keep showing that scene.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the
Breaking glass.
consequences.
People were going to die.
That CG's not great either. Jesus, this isn't that great. We just saw legit CW. This is not
Hey, buddy.
dusting itself. I don't know. I mean, I can really dig into that if I want to. But I mean, it doesn't distance itself. Do you guys think that was totally, we just saw a CW plus $100 million, $300 million budget? Yeah, we had to get some woman power for the show. Yeah, a little bit of no illegal was a ruin. It's a gay show now. Oh shit, it's a gay show. I didn't mean to make it gay. I'm just trying to look at this is supposed to be one of the biggest movies of the year, allegedly. She chopped. Yeah, I'm not that big on. I was never big on Danica Patrick. The trailer shows Lois as a bitch, and no, that ain't Bitcoin. Oh yeah, she does not. Oh yeah, you can't say anything on YouTube. I forgot. No humans illegal read. Yeah, a little bit of that. Not a million in. I don't like it. I don't like it either. I want to see Soups leave Earth, aliens invade. He watching the news, drinking Cretonia beer, laughing. Lord, give me strength. More Hollywood slop. More women power from Lois. No sell. That the women power was the. See, that's the thing. You can't tell which is the movie, which is not. The women power was the TV show. When Lois did that, that's the TV show. My whole point was they just did a TV show called Superman and Lois. They did 4 or 5 seasons. You can't really tell the difference between the TV show with a CW budget or a movie with a $400 or whatever it is $1 million budget. You can't tell the difference. Nobody can tell the difference unless you're told. Y'all did, and you just proved it. You just proved it. You were like, oh wait, that's not the movie. But can you tell? Can anyone tell? If you don't know, if you haven't been paying attention to know that his costume looks a certain way, there's no way you would know. So that was not the movie The Lowest Shot. That was the part of her being a bitch in the trailer asking them dumb questions. That was the movie. Yeah, I would watch the adventure. Yo, the Fleischer animation of Superman is some of the best Superman produced content ever. The animation in the 30s, 40s, I think it was probably the 40s, looks incredible. It looks apples to apples better than anything I just showed. Superhero movies are indeed gay and lame. Unfortunately. Next Supergirl movie, she's gonna be don't say that. Black, lesbian, hunchback, lazy eyes. So she's gonna have Biggie. Okay, we can play the class at this. But yeah, man. I think it's fair to say, yeah, it's just as bad as the CW version. And the CW version might even be a little bit better. Let's play some better versions of Superman. How about that? Let's get some better versions on there to straighten this up a little bit. And then let me see if I can find Fleischer. Yeah, but this does look like slop. This looks exactly what slop looks like. So let's see what they were able to do in 96 and then 1941. First, STAS, Superman. Yeah, it's pretty epic. That's pretty epic. Yeah, it was just overshadowed. That whole wave, Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series, Justice League Unlimited, and then Static Shock Zeta Project, and Batman Beyond as like the garnish on the dish. But that Batman and Superman and the two Justice League series, they told a pretty good story. I don't know why they haven't just adapted that story. That would have been a lot easier than making all these shitty movies. But this is what they did. That's what they did. Today's superhero movies are like steak burnt to ash. Yeah. They have this high school nearby, only built a couple years ago. They already went Texas state championships in football. Do they have the NIL in high school already? I'm sure they got a cheap version of it. Superman, yeah, I love STAS. You want to see real retro? Look what they were able to do in the fucking 40s. This. If I was an animator now, I would look at this and I would be ashamed of myself. Look at this shit here. Paramount owned it at one point. That's crazy.
Up in the sky, look!
Look at this.
It's a plane! It's Superman!
Krypton forever. One of the planet's leading scientists, sensing the
Let's
approach
just,
of doom, placed
skip
his
ahead.
sun in a small rocket ship and sent it hurtling in the direction of the Earth just as Krypton exploded.
Just kind of want to see.
The rocket ship sped through star-studded space, landing safely on Earth with its precious burden, Krypton's sole survivor. A passing motorist found the uninjured child and took it to an orphanage. As the years went by and the child grew to maturity, he found himself possessed of amazing physical powers. Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive.
Look at this.
Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. The infant of Krypton is now the Man of Steel. Superman.
Look at Kate.
To best be in a
And this is
position
not
to use
much,
amazing powers in a never-ending
but
battle
like,
for true justice.
I kind of look at some of just how smooth this fucking animation is. And we can't get this quality. This is from the 40s. We'll never get this quality. The shit I just showed was from the 90s. 30, 40 years ago. This shit, 80 years ago. We'll never get this quality.
This nut may prove dangerous.
Never.
Kent, you help Lois follow up her lead.
Look at how these fuckers move. And yeah, it's the 40s, so you are getting a lot of static shots. I don't want to make it seem like every shot is fucking incredible, but you're still getting just fluid motion. And I think they were doing some version of rotoscoping for what they had for some of these shots. But still, this is incredible. And we'll never get something animated this well now. Shit, we can't even get Pixar to stop giving you Cal Art shit. That's become controversial. What they call it, these bean mouth movies that Pixar made. That's with 3D animation. They keep calling them bean mouth because all these characters look like Steven Universe. But they're 3D version of Steven Universe. That's what Pixar's doing. Yeah, you can do that with same thing. With Looney Tunes, Popeye Looney Tunes, a bunch of stuff from that era, that 30s, 40s, early 50s, and it looks so much better. And we took it for granted when, granted as a kid, I didn't know what age any of these cartoons were, because they would just be on Cartoon Network or be on wherever they would be where they play, you play old cartoons all the time. And I didn't recognize, this is something from the 50s and this is 40, 50 years ago from where I'm watching it. Just, it was cartoons. But you're like, we don't get anime. And I get it. There was, Speed Racer, a lot of static shots. There was a lot of static shots and a lot of, where I mean static shots where they don't animate and they just move the camera. And yeah, okay, there was some fuckery, but fuck, you guys don't even try. You're nowhere near this. Look at Invincible. And not the first season where they had all the budget. The seasons after, man. Like, come on, bro. Who are y'all lying to? Y'all spending most of that budget on that whack-ass cash. Y'all not spending that shit on animation because it's clear that y'all not. Yeah, I do like the red and black logo, too. It's better than the movie trailer. It's a lot better than the movie trailer. Yeah, the flights of cartoons. They got a lot of them on YouTube, but I'm pro physical media, and actually that might be a good purchase for me too. That's something to have on. I would actually want be kind of snobby too. I want a 4K. I would have to do the research to make sure I get the right. What am I looking for? Like they scan. Like I want these to be high quality 4K scans. But even though this HD is still good enough, I mean, this is still pretty good. I don't want to be too much of a speculative, but if they got the high quality scans, the highest quality scans y'all could do of these, I'll take. So you didn't play the best part. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't outsourced to Jeet and Ahmed and whoever else back then. They were hand drawing that shit for real. I can't bring myself to bitches about cartoons as an adult. That's some serious, some bullshit. Well, I'm not necessarily bitching about cartoons. Well, I am bitching about cartoons. I ain't gonna lie. And I might be on the autism spectrum. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares, God? Fuck you. But I'm also just the quality of work, period, for this character. Where we're getting this shitty, snarky CG fest next week. And you used to get a lot more quality, even in the animated versions of this character. And we're going to have a live action version, and it's going to be a fucking incel. And I don't want to see that, man. And they're going to fucking shoot Batman too. And it's like, you know what, man? I know I said I'm a DC Comics fan. I've compared it to my Lions fandom. The Lions are actually good. But y'all trying my patience with this bullshit, man. I don't want to. I don't want to see this upcoming Superman. I don't want to see them do a sequel to Batman. It's just like, stop. Oh yeah, rest in peace to Julian McMahon, who played Dr. Doom. My conspiracy hat went up. I'm not gonna lie. For those who believe, I mean, a lot of them think they need to sacrifice something related to the property before property goes out. I feel like that's not the only guy to die for when a property is going through some major transformation. I feel like that happens. Common, I'm not going to get too conspiratorial though, even though I just mentioned that. Rest in peace to the brother. A lot of people know him from Charmed, amongst other things. Obviously, Dr. Doom. Which, I mean, I don't know how to feel about those early or mid-2000s pre-MCU Fantastic Four movies. They were entertaining enough for the time. Honestly, they probably will be... I'm sure there's more entertainment to be had from those movies than there is Ironheart and the Thunderbolts and, whatever. Feel about Dog Side. When I mentioned Ironheart and Thunderbolts and all this other shit... My dog is tired of hearing about Marvel, man. I mentioned Ironheart, Thunderbolts. He just audibly sighed. So, I mean, I'm sure you'll probably be better off with the Chris Evans as Human Torch, because that's the one that he was Dr. Doom with Julian McMahon. It's probably more entertaining than the recent stuff. And then you did send a link. Was it the same link? Oh, Static Shock. I like Static Shock too, but I think the point is made. And rest in peace, Dwayne McDuffie. He was from Detroit. He created Static Shock. They might have the 4K scans for sale. I gotta look. You like the 39 suits? Your favorite one? Yeah, I like that classic suit too. Yeah, I've shown this. It's crazy. 1984. These are all the original movies. Came out in 84. Terminator, Ghostbusters, Gremlins, Karate Kid, Beverly Hills Cop, Romancing the Stone, Nightmare on Elm Street, Police Academy, Purple Rain. And you're leaving stuff out. I know you are, because it was so much that year. No sequels. A lot of these would go on to be sequeled. Or original remakes or sequels 40 years ago. But look at all these properties being launched. Almost all the things you said. Wait, no. Outside of Romancing the Stone, everything you said had a sequel. Even Purple Rain had Graffiti Bridge. Everything had a sequel. Would go on to have a sequel. Everyone who has been posting that today, the movie fucking sucked. Oh, boy. Talk about Cancer's bitch. Like I said, I think you probably got more entertainment off of that. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I think that's probably more entertainment than all this other shit that we watch. Yeah, Wakanda Forever. The last 3-4 years of Marvel, I would take the pre-CU. I would take Daredevil with Batfleck at the helm. I would take the Punisher with Thomas Jane, which wasn't too bad. I mean, there was a couple of goofy ass characters I didn't like, but it wasn't too bad. Ghost Rider 1 and 2. I would take all of them over the last 4 or 5 years of the MCU. Yeah, I'll take all of them over everything since Endgame. And I didn't really like Endgame. I go back and forth with it, because sometimes I say, okay, it was a nice send off for all these different parts of the MCU. In particular, Cap and RDJ, which they're bringing them back anyway. They already bought Chris Evans back to be, ironically, the Human Torch in the Deadpool movie, but I mean, they're already back, so it doesn't even matter. So it's not even in the States. So I don't know. Since Infinity War, so that's 2018. 7 years. 7 years of misery. Even if you give them the one mid movie of, let's say, even if you give them a pass for Endgame, which everybody's not going to, and you don't have to, you got to remember, in 2019 they still released Captain Marvel, which allegedly made $1 billion. I don't know if it really did, but that's what the people said. And then you had the Marvels, you had Miss Marvel, you had WandaVision, you had Falcon and Winter Soldier, you had Captain America, what was it called? It was a New World Order. I forgot what name they called it, but Captain America with Red Hulk. You had the Thunderbolts. You had Wakanda Forever. You had Moon Knight TV show. You had Miss Marvel TV show. I think other stuff. And that's not counting even the Daredevil. Oh, yeah, the Hawkeye series. You had the Eternals. Fuck. I mean, you had a couple Thor movies, I think. And then you had, of course, you did have, which I didn't watch, the fucking Doctor Strange multiverse movie. And then you did have a Spider-Man movie where you used nostalgia to sell that. Because you sold it off. Tobey Maguire sold that movie. Probably for like 5 minutes. I didn't see it because he's probably in the movie 4 minutes. But that's what everyone wanted to see it before. Because I hate the MCU Spider-Man with a fucking passion. He is one of the gayest characters that have ever existed. And they try to make him smart and funny. I'm not trying to shit on this guy because he's only 5'1" or whatever tall he is. I know a lot of people like Tom Holland. He's not a terrible actor, but the character they wrote and created for him is such a bitch, and it's so unlikable, and it's so unrootable. Like, you're supposed to root for Peter Parker. I cannot wait for him to be race swapped. Please get rid of him. And I know they're gonna make Miles gay because they already kind of do. Just put Gwen. Put Spider-Gwen as the MCU Spider-Man already. Just do it. Do it. I'm Rorschach at the end of Watchmen. Just do it. Because this shit is terrible. That's what you're going to do. You're going to take 10 years to do it. Just make Spider-Gwen Spider-Man. I know you're going to do it. Just fucking do it. Because this shit is terrible. The path there is terrible. That's crazy. Umar should say something. You said Anthony Mackie asked for a storyline with Black Widow 15 times. Yo, what is it with all these thirsty Negroes that Marvel keeps hiring, bro? What's the guy that played the voice of Miles Morales? I just mentioned Miles. The guy who played his voice is super thirsty over Haley Stanfield. Like, what is with you thirsty dudes? There are other white girls that exist, man. Get over it, bro. Get over it. Heard the Thunderbolts was good. Oh, Fizz, I didn't know you was back. Thank you for being back. Heard it was good, but indirectly Hurst. Should have said Hurst. Yeah, it's technically the new Avengers. That was what the asterisk for. I heard positive things, but I still didn't want to see it. People were positive, but I don't think it made a ton of money. I mean, they make a ton of money relative to the world, but relative to the budget, I don't think it made a ton of money. First movie sandwich between Avengers, Infinity War. I still think they fudged the numbers even for that. Talking about the Captain Marvels, the Marvel one, because they did have Shazam as well, which actually did well. But the Captain Marvel movie, the first one, I really think they fudged the numbers. There was rumors that they were buying out theaters for charity, and that they used those to get it to $1 billion. But I'm sure a lot of people did go see it because of that as well. They did fool a lot of people into the building with the gap between Infinity War and Endgame. So it definitely did get a boost from that. I bought all Funko Pops? I bought a decent share, but I didn't buy all the Marvel ones. MCU Spider-Man, man, feels more like Kick-Ass than Spider-Man. Yeah, like Kick-Ass or a sidekick of some sort. Drake Bell movie when he was fake Spider-Man? I do not remember that. And Miles, the fictional character, banged Spider-Gwen, but not the actor that plays him. He's really lusted after Haley Stanfield. The chick who played Little Mermaid gonna be Spider-Man. I don't know who's gonna be Spider-Man, but like I'll take whatever. Just end this shit. Superhero fatigue, yeah, always the super Negro fatigue. It's just superheroes over. Those actors want marshmallows out the bag, not roasted. They claim Captain People made $2.2 billion. People. $2.2 billion. What? But it was really 1.4. So yeah, they faked the reporting too. That's still way too much. The streaming service still keeps promoting the Thunder cunts to you. There is a real superhero fatigue. You can say, I'm not saying wokeness didn't help cause the fatigue, but it is a fatigue. And shout out to the chat bots we got on Kick. I appreciate you being here. Thomas Jr. I know you're about. I like you. I respect you. But now how was this? Oh, I do remember it. Yes, superhero movie. It was a parody of Toby Spider-Man. Drake Bell was the main character. You're right. I do remember around you mentioned. I'm like, how are you talking about? Oh man. That's 100% correct. You are right. The Marvel Quantumatic universe. Man, I have no desire to see none of these new Marvel movies. I'm not going to see Fantastic Four. There's no way. I'm not about to go and waste two. I am very much thinking about not going to see Superman. There's no way I'm going to waste another 2 hours to see Fantastic Four, man. I don't even like the way this looks. I don't have any desire to see this Fantastic Four. And I don't want to see how it links up to the other universe. The next one I'll probably fake, and I don't even know if I want to see that, is whenever the one with RDJ comes back. I might go see RDJ come back just for the fuck of it. Might see Superman. I think there are some people who want Superman to succeed. There are some people who aren't done with the comics and aren't done with the capes, and they still kind of see it as, oh, DC versus Marvel and Warner Brothers versus Disney, and they're rooting for Warner Brothers / DC, so they're going to push Superman. Those people still exist. Good for them. I'm not quite with y'all because I still have this. I have this hope that'll never come to fruition, but that they kind of showed me with the Penguin they can do. I've wanted a live action, well done. When I say Game of Thrones or Mad Men or Breaking Bad, that type of effort in the writing, even though obviously, Game of Thrones had its issues as it ended the last few seasons, but that was because the guy didn't finish it, right? So there's plenty of story arcs for them to adapt. I just want a good Batman series. I think it can be done with Batman, not Gotham PD, not Penguin even though that wasn't that bad. And I still I didn't finish all of it, but I got further along. But still, I want a good Batman series that is high level. But I think that's a badass because even if they do it, it'll be 4 episodes and it'll take 4 years for the next 4 episodes to come out. So even the best case scenario where I get what I want. I mean, there's only been 34 episodes of Stranger Things in 10 years. Do you know that woman, grown-ass woman who I think has a kid now, Millie Bobby Brown, she's like 22, 23 now. She was like 14, 15 when that dropped. I may be off a couple years. You know what I mean? But like, she's a grown-ass woman now. She was a kid when that shit started. It takes so long for them to get something done because we're in the laziest era of Hollywood. Yeah, she does look 40. She's in her mid-20s now. And only God knows how much she's been partying. Yo, I don't know what Pedro Pascal, his butthole's getting ran through, bro. They let him start in everything. Now. Oh, RDJ bled him dry for the stupid company. Oh, he's going to get paid. They're probably giving him like $100 million or something crazy. You're right, Cotton. You're 100% right. If you're spending money on superhero movies, you're a mark. You deserve these shitty movies. I just made that same thing. We were literally talking about Madden earlier this stream. And I was talking, there's people who every year they give Madden $70 at the base, and then they spend hundreds of dollars on their Madden Ultimate Team over the course of a year. And then a new game comes out, and they give them another $70. They spend a couple, and there's millions of people who do that every year, year after year, and that's their hobby. That's what they love doing. They don't care how bad the game is. That's what they love doing, and that's what they've been accustomed to doing, and that's what they're gonna do. And and they keep the shit afloat, even though it should died a long time ago. Man, you guys are making a compelling case for me to not see Superman outside that movie. So I mean, looking at that trailer, I mean, there's literally nothing that compels me to go see that movie, man. There's nothing that makes me want to see that movie. From the music, that's just I guess a modern rendition of the classic theme, to the way the Lex Luthor looks, to the way Lois Lane looks, to the way Superman looks, to the extra characters, to the snarky comments, to the way there's nothing appealing about this movie. Nothing at all is appealing. And no, it's not because I'm a Snyder fan. Snyder's shit wasn't great either, even though they was finally getting around to the goddamn story. We were finally getting somewhere, and then we cut the shit off. But fuck it. Okay, we're here. The shit does not look appealing. James Gunn is not that great. He's another weirdo in Hollywood. He's got a bunch of weird tweets from back in the day. I have no desire to see this shit. I can't subject my brother to see this shit. We're not going to see this shit. We're just going to be normal fucking people and go see Jurassic Park. Fuck that movie. We'll see Jurassic Park either this weekend or next weekend, and then just wait until another movie that's worth it now. I'm not watching that. I can't. I can't watch it. I have no reason to watch it. And Cotton, that was the one. That was the one. That was the message that's like, that's it. Because I can't support this shit. I can't fund this bullshit. You know what? I'm not watching the Batman 2 either. I'm not paying to watch it. I made you know, with the streaming shit and all the ways there is to watch it. But I'm not doing that for Superman. I can't do that. Batman, I don't know if I can do that for Batman either, man. That last one was 3 hours, buddy. 3 hours of him brooding around and making mistakes and fucking up, and rich parents and rich people are bad is the real theme, and white privilege. And that movie was fucking horrible. And there's still assholes on the internet who still will tell you that movie was good. Fucking horrible. You know, that was one of the movies that made me fall off with the quote unquote fandom, because they was giving that movie a good review, and that's why I knew they had failed. But y'all don't even know what's good no more. Because if y'all think this movie was good, y'all know what's good no more. Y'all know the difference between good and bad. It just didn't beat you over the head with wokeness, and so you said it was good. That shit was a dumpster fire. That was literally the last of the last straws. I say, I can't listen to y'all. Can't listen to nothing you motherfuckers say, because y'all have no clue what's good no more. That was the end. Red Hood show would be cool. 21st century superhero shows, cartoon movies, Dare to Abe Lincoln. You ain't lying. You ain't kidding. No tell. Yeah, I don't know what Pedro Pascal. They just let him do everything. He's getting turned out at those fucking Hollywood parties, bro. Batman, libtard pussy. I don't kill my enemies. Shut the fuck up, bitch boy. The not killing the enemies thing has gotten a life of its own. And they've really made Batman look silly in some of the cartoon stuff they made because they're not killing the enemies. And no, Pascal, Fish, you're right, doesn't fit Reed. Cotton, that's the last show. I can't pay for that movie. You guys win. I can't do it. Yeah, he's in Gladiator 2, which I didn't hate. I get that a lot of people didn't like it. I didn't hate. I thought it was actually kind of interesting. Denzel and his Brooklyn accent. It was an interesting character. And the action was interesting. I mean, it was nothing compared to Gladiator 1. It was so much worse than Gladiator 1. And then there's some real issues with it. The first Gladiator is better. They should. I kind of still maintain they should have did a sequel, but as it goes for sequels and remakes, they do worse than this more often. So that was my review of Gladiator 2, which I think is also up on his channel as a stream. Hollywood's not even trying because they know this shit's gonna get streamed. That is true. It's going to be on streaming in 2 months anyway. Who cares? Oof. Last movie I saw in theaters was Rise of Skywalker. Theaters can drown. F1 honestly is one of those few movies that warrants theaters, because I'm telling you, the reviews when that comes out on streaming and Blu-ray are going to fall off. It's a lot better to watching a great great theater setting and great speakers, and if you watch it like that or watching it IMAX, then it's a good movie. If you actually have to pay attention to like story and shit, it's super mid. What's his face? The last Lex. Fucking Zuckerberg. It's the guy that plays Zuckerberg. He was the last Lex. Oh my God, he was terrible. Have too much respect for Paul Dini, right? Why don't they hire Paul Dini? That should be, instead of hiring James Gunn, they should have hired either Paul Dini or Bruce Timm. And just, they could be the story supervisors, and they could just, you know what, we're going to reuse a story that we already know that works. And we're going to reuse the shit that we already did with these characters. We're going to keep it simple, and we're going to reuse shit that always worked. Yeah, acting like a bitch. I mean, he acts so gay in that trailer. He seems like I can't believe that the actor who plays him is in his 30s. He just seems like a whiny teenager. Well, look, I was just saving people. Like, what the fuck? I was just doing the right thing. Where's my dog? It's like, you seem like Clark Kent. You don't seem like Superman. I can see you as just like some pussy journalist. Like, I could believe that. But I don't believe you're the superhero savior of our masses. Nah. And then he just guy. Listen, he's an improvement over Zuckerberg. And I'm sure somebody said his real name in the chat. Jurassic Park gets worse with every single iteration. I think it's fallen off to the second. I haven't seen any of the Jurassic World, but they are still dinosaurs go smash. Just like F1 is F1 go, fast car go zoom. There's some mistakes. I thought they should have used I will semi-spoiler. They should have used more of the actual F1 talent that does appear in the movie, but they should have been a bigger part of the story. So I will give you that warning. If you're looking for a little bit more of an actual, but if you want the experience of what it's like to be a driver and what it's like to, because that's what the movie focuses on. It focuses on in-driving, in-car action. And it makes no bones about what it's focused on. It is absolutely, this is what this movie's about. It's about what it's like to do all this shit, to listen to the comms and try to go back and forth with teammates on strategy while you're going, 200 miles per hour. The battles with that's what makes it interesting. That's the shit that makes the movie worth watching in theaters. And it does sell theaters. So I will say, I'm not trying to, F1 ain't giving me no fucking money. We ain't that big of a streaming channel, but I will say that. The reason I haven't watched the Batman, which I would not recommend anybody waste their money with that movie or any time with that movie. I haven't. There's the redundant, grounded stuff Nolan did. Yeah, that's another thing. Nolan already did this version. Do a different version. And that Riddler is so terrible. And that scene that's become like a meme, and they think these guys are acting. Apparently, took 40 takes. Y'all needed 50 more, man. The takes y'all used were not it, man. Where they're in the jail and Riddler's being all gay and Batman's being all gay. Oh, man, that's a terrible scene. Oh, man. I almost want to show it to you. It's so bad. Your Asset Park. Hey, Tree Rock Creations. Appreciate you being here. Watching movies with loud, smelly strangers overrated. That's fair. Smuggling munchies. I can't even smoke. I always smoked before. I still like the theater experience, but I get it. Last movie I saw in theaters was The Day the Earth Blew Up. Everybody, I'm blessed I have a decent theater near me. They're usually not too packed. Denzel wore a dress in Gladiator, and he allegedly kissed a man in Gladiator. And you could tell the scene that he does it. They cut it out, but he kissed it. He kissed a man. You could definitely tell. He has like a buddy that he's talking to throughout the whole thing, and there's a reading, and you could kind of tell that's where the kiss was. Not long till movie theaters like vaudeville theaters. Will the theater ever come back? I don't know. Gladiator 2 is a perfect representation of current libtard culture. Completely impotent, empty, mediocre, and forgettable. That's not a bad thing. Like I said, I was decent. Oh, man. I'm missing a lot of comments. Let me try to catch up. If I miss a comment, I'm sorry, guys. The Riddler from the last Batman was so awful. Barack Obama movie, being Big Mike, that's what we want to see. We will find Michael LaVon Robinson of Chicago. We will find this person. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen Superman give Lex Luthor a scarier death stare than Batman. Yeah, that's that scene that they released of him. Where's my dog? Where's my dog? You're finding Big Mike. We will find Michael LaVon Robinson, who was a real person in Chicago, and they disappeared. And a Michelle LaVon Robinson, who will go on to marry Barack Obama, now exists, but there was a Michael. And we will find them. You said Jurassic World is horrendous. Oh, man. I was thinking about going and seeing that. Yeah, he does look better. Yeah, he is actually playing. Nicholas Hoult is actually playing Lex Luthor, where Jesse Eisenberg was just playing Mark Zuckerberg again. Thank you for reminding me of this dude's name. Good amount of gayness in it, even for ancient Rome. Yeah. Blind Side. Yeah, Big Mike biopic. Not watching Dino Slop. No spoilers. Okay. Imagine being so boring you're a failed industry plant. There's a lot of failed industry plants. There's a lot of failed industry plants. There's a lot of failed girls on OnlyFans. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. We just came across one, the Big Clit girl. There's a rapper who's called Big Clit, but she was from like 4 or 5 years ago. That whole industry plant experience with her is already over. I didn't know who she was till Courtney brought her up. And she's terrible, right? Just another industry plant. But they tried 4 years ago. It didn't even work. While you watch podcasts, I get it. This is why podcasts have become so popular. This is why we have the rise of podcasts. Is because all of mainstream entertainment has failed. Now, there is still a pay-for-play element to the YouTube and the social media game. But to be fair, I mean, it's not like, if you want to launch a podcast, you got a few grand, you can do it. And you can get the traction you need. And if you post a bunch of stuff, if you post a lot of clips, which I don't do and I need to do, you can get something. I don't know if it's this one, this Jurassic World movie, the next one introduced built like feminazi dino riders. I hope not. It just seems like this Jurassic World is such a simple. How do you fuck this up? Just dinosaurs go smash. I mean, just have dinosaurs tear shit up. That's it. And just do good on the CG. Queen Kong ain't got shit on me. Yeah, he did not change his accent. Can you look up some other movies that's out? Don't have to see movies that are advertised with big budgets. I'll check it out in a second. Let me see if I can catch up with you guys. Oh, yeah, Joan Rivers was the first person going around saying Big Mike is Big Mike. And was like, come on, y'all don't know she's a tranny? Say you tired of podcast? Yeah, I'm not a big podcast guy. I'm done. I'm done personally. But the rise of them is if you find a podcast you like, hell, you guys have found a streamer you like in me, right? There's that feeling of authenticity. This person's a real person. Now, I think podcasts have lost that in the post-pay-for-play era where most of these podcasts aren't quite as authentic as they appear to be. But a lot of people still find their own favorite, and they find people they like to hear them talk. And it's no different from the radio show era a couple generations ago where people would listen to talk radio or listen to whatever. Those characters are seen more authentic than the entertainment you get from mainstream media, mainstream corporate entertainment. Even if some of that is in and of itself corporate entertainment, it still feels a lot more authentic. Your Half-Life movie is the same space as Half-Life 3. Is it Half-Life 3? Yeah, it's not. It's dropping February 31st. And yeah, she called Big Mike a tranny. If you look, Michael LaVon Robinson does pop up, and Big Mike's daughters look nothing like him. Her. Yeah, I'm not a big podcast guy. But I get the appeal. How did Eisenberg get a career? I mean, I don't want to dwell on it, but I mean, a lot of it's in the name. I saw one of her clips from her show. She admitted her experiences. Yep, I remember that. Her experiences as a man. The context before they match up, it was talking about other people. Yeah, she said, I think my experiences as a man or my experiences as a black man. I saw that. X feed is filled with people getting, standing. Oh, no. I can't watch that. Now, I say that. My feed, like, and as Retro Rich or anyone who's even, I think Zombie Man can attest to, people are getting fucked up. I watch a lot of fails. People on bikes. Now, when it's obvious there's a broken leg, broken neck situation, some of the broken necks, actually, I'm not sure. Because I show like wrestling botches, people jumping off, people falling off stuff, a lot of skateboarders falling to their doom. So I watched some pretty hairy stuff. I'm not going to lie. But I can't watch all deaths. Even though I think a couple of the falls I've seen, there's no way they survive. No way. So... Yeah, Dildo. That's what I'm talking about. That, like, if I'm not trying to be that guy, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that last name is giving you a lot of hints to why he's getting so much. Acting stuff. Will that P Diddy movie happen? Cast Kevin Hart. Will they do a P Diddy movie? You said you in the Diddy movie, Retro Richard? Yeah, I don't have a Twitter. I have I have an Instagram that I'll take breaks from it from now and again. Rich got cat. No, don't be a little boy, Richard. No. I still go back to Big Mike naming his becoming. Absolutely give you a tip. Baby oil and the pizza man. No. Whoa. We need a pause. Yeah, God, I don't know if I can handle it. Ruin wants that feed. I don't know if I can handle that shit. Let me see. Fizz said look up other movies. Let's see if we can find the movies that are coming out next couple months. This is the summer movie season. Doesn't it feel like it? Don't you feel so excited to see all these summer movies in 2025? So just, hitting Google, the Google machine, we got Jurassic World, Superman, Fantastic Four. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Oh, there's another Avatar coming out? When is this dropping? That's the end of the year. It looks like I just saw it in December. The last one was okay. F1 I recommend, but it's not for everybody. 28 years later, okay. Another Conjuring, okay. Another Tron? I liked Tron. What was the last one called? Tron Legacy? Tron Ares? Who's doing the song? 9 Inch Nails doing the soundtrack? Okay. I like Trent Reznor. You need a new Naked Gun with Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin. And Pamela Anderson. Okay. Cody Rhodes is in this movie? The fuck? The Bad Guys 2. I didn't see the first one. Mortal Kombat 2, I did see the first one. Major disappointment. I know they got what's his name as Johnny Cage. So Carl Urban, that's what I'm trying to say. We'll see if that redeems this. Man, I hope this is better than the last one they made. The last one was a real disappointment after having a pretty decent trailer. Megan 2. Okay, 2.0. The Old Guard 2, I'd never heard the first one. I don't know what this is. Good Fortune. It's written by Aziz Ansari. He can be funny sometimes. It's about an angel working for okay. Anaconda. Did we need another one of these? It's an action comedy horror film. Okay, Freaky Earth Friday. I did see The Running Man is coming out. You gotta do that again. This time Edgar Wright's directing it. Okay. And then we talked about Him, which does look somewhat interesting. We were just talking about sacrifices. That's what this is about. It's about a football player who sacrifices somebody or has to deal with demons in order to become a great football player. Weapons. Somewhat interesting. Original horror movie. Bunch of kids from the same classroom all disappear. And it looks like they reappear as weapons. So that has some looks like it might be an interesting movie. We'll see. Nobody 2. I didn't see the first one. I heard people liked it because it was based off or similar people who worked on what the fuck? The John Wick series. Wake Up Dead. Knives Out is still making. People still want to see Knives Out movies. The Smurfs. Oof. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. They're still doing Now You See Me movies. Downtown Abbey. Spinal Tap 2. What? I don't know what this is. The Housemaid. It's a thriller. After the Hunt. That's a thriller too. I'm not sure what's going on with this. College professor is forced to grapple her own secretive past after one of her colleagues is faced with serious accusations. I don't know what's going on here. I must say, that does not look promising. I don't know what Aziz got canceled for. It was for something. It might have been, some of those guys, just like him. What's the other guy? They got canceled when it was all consensual, but it was just weirded out. Like, you didn't have a problem with it. Oh, man. Louis C.K. He got canceled for jerking off on women. But they were all into it. And then it's like, well, he did me too. He used power. He used power dynamics, guys. I was only 28 at the time, and he used power dynamics, guys. So I'm joining in this lawsuit too. So yeah. I go to crazy shit for I can't do gore. I probably should have said anything about that. Take that. No. Cultivated my Twitter algorithm carefully. I've put some effort between my as you probably hearing the fireworks go off. Put some effort between my Instagram algorithm, but it's still sometimes too much for me. Fuck Avatar. I've liked the series, but I get it. Like somebody said, it's just Pocahontas in space. It kind of is. Even though Pocahontas apparently was only 10. What the fuck? Like in real life. Hot Girl Summer starring Will Smith. That's crazy word, Richard. Yeah, Tron Legacy. No Tron Legacy, but Tron Legacy was pretty good. Return to Bad Boy 2026. No. So Avatar literally gave you a headache. Oh, man. Brandon Holland called it Space Pocahontas, which it kind of is. Pamela, and you could probably re-inflate her. Pamela Henderson, as you called her. I didn't see the first Bad Guys either. Yep, they got a Ruined Naked Gun too. Space Dances with Wolves. Noble Savage, yeah. Same thing. Why Do I Smell Baby Oil? Yeah, it's true. The Ballerina spinoff, that's a direct spinoff from John Wick is coming off. And again, I can't remember. Aziz and Louis C.K. I remember Louis C.K. He was consensual. All he did was jerk off on women, which is weird, but that's what he into. All these bitches were cool with getting jerked off on until somebody wrote a news story and then, he got me too. The power dynamics of me being a grown-ass woman and me wanting to have a career, so I let a celebrity jerk off on me. Like, well, then that's your business then, isn't it? Looking at these movie posters look like, lead scores for cricket in the U.S. Like, who? What? Like, what is this shit? Yeah, I did not want to see that new Running Man. I saw the trailer. That looks terrible. Oh, y'all watched it on Matt's? I just saw it offline. It didn't look good. Or maybe I saw it online. But you know what I mean? I saw it off stream. Did not look good. Rihanna's going to be Smurfette. Whew. Now you see me, now you don't. Still describes Hollywood prophets. Yeah, Louis didn't do nothing wrong. But the power dynamics. My power dynamics. I was groomed as a 30-year-old woman. Like, no, you weren't. Fuck. At the end of this year, December, there's going to be a movie called Windsor Hunter, The Hunt for Evangeline Crowley. I don't know anything about that. Tried to get a burrito the other day. Cashier tried to sue you for your using power dynamics. I thought Pamela got fat. Maybe she lost weight. I know Gina got some weight. We had showed that Lizzo was in better shape than Gina Carano as of recent years. They said, hey, I need money too. I mean, I don't know how anyone's going to make money off of those movies. I mean, does anything look exciting? Like, and just like, okay, y'all are robbing properties that have nothing to it. You know what I mean? Y'all robbing, I mean, The Naked Gun hasn't been relevant since the 90s. Spinal Tap hasn't been relevant since the 80s. The Smurfs, I mean, they did do a Smurfs movie, 15 years ago, but like, you know, some of these properties. Mortal Kombat is so relevant, they can't even keep their game going after a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? So it's like weird. I don't know, man. Oh, yeah, they're doing How to Train Your Dragon. Are they doing a Michael biopic? They're going to do a biopic over Michael Jackson next year. I'm not going to check that out. I'm good on that. There is a Popeye Revenge coming out. It's a 2025. It's coming out this year. Slasher horror film. Popeye is a public domain character now. So you can make your own property with him. Looks like a short movie. Oh, this already came out. It's already dropped. So go check that out. Popeye's Revenge. Lizzo has Big Mike. That'll be classic. Big Mike's in really good shape though. Lizzo's lost weight. Big Mike. I've shown Big Mike's muscles. Like Big Mike has like listen. When you look at Big Mike's back, I've never seen a woman on earth with a back like that. Pause. Pausing for this because this is not a woman. This human being has like NFL linebacker style muscle on her back. There's no way that's a female. No way that's a female. Yeah, Gina Carano turned to Winona Judd. Hunt for the Wizard sleeves. And the name for Snatch. I see. But yeah, I don't know. Public domain is gonna pop a can of marijuana, smoke it with Bluto to kick olive oil to the curb. That would be funny. Yeah, let me see if I can find Big Mike. And you just like, wait a second. This person. Oh shit! I'm typing in Big Mike. I gotta type in her government name. If it even lets me, I'm surprised. Let's see. Look at this shit. Look at this. Can I zoom? Oh, no, it's not letting me zoom in, really. I wish I could zoom in. But look how the muscle up here. Like, here's 5 exercises to get you a back like Michelle Obama. Look how much taller. Like, nah, man. One of these is Mike Tyson, the other, this will do it. One of these is prime Mike Tyson, the other is Michelle Obama. She has as much muscle on her back as prime Mike Tyson. All right, man. If that's what y'all say, y'all want to. If I want to live to see tomorrow, and y'all clap Joan Rivers. So if that's a woman to you, that's fine, man. That's what I'm saying. She might not only is this a dude, she might be juicing. Because most dudes are not do not look like that. This is crazy. You belong to the streets, olive oil. That's crazy. Yeah, Glitcher said, public domain, Popeye. You can do this. If you want to do this, you have the right to do this. You can have Popeye, as Glitzer says, pop a can of marijuana. That's a whole nother can of worms. Have you seen the new packaging they have? All these different brands of weed. They have like GTA San Andreas and games and action figures. All these different packages for weed. Wild shit. But yeah, smoke with blue don't kick olive oil to the curb. She got a back and you cannot deny. Listen, she has a lot of back musculature. The Winnie the Pooh slasher was funny. You'll watch. I didn't know they made a Winnie the Pooh. You guys may have mentioned it, but I didn't know that. She belongs to the streets. Yeah, olive oil belongs to the streets. No, what's her name? Belongs to the streets. The princess off of Mario, but that's another can of worms. Instead of a slasher film, Popeye should get the Battleship New Jersey spinach. It reactivates, start blowing the shot, everything. Godzilla versus King Kong versus Big Mike. Do it, Hollywood. I don't know. Black Phone 2 coming. You talking about that movie about the guy kidnapping kids? They're doing another, or am I thinking of a different series? King Kong ain't got shit on me, says Glenzer. That has to be a dude, bro. And not just a dude, like a dude on shit. Gotta resay like the MC Hammer lyrics. That's not MC Hammer. That's Sir Makes a Lot. Took me along. Black Phone is about to do the kidnap kids. Yeah, that's really weird. But Sir Makes a Lot. I'll say it's not MC Hammer. Sir Makes a Lot. It's an old rapper, but not that one. But yeah, that's what I thought. He had the like weird mask and kidnap kids. Speaking of, was it Ethan Hawke in it? He's just doing the fucking Training Day shit. Training Day is I think that Ethan Hawke. Remember, it was Ethan Hawke was in it. Nah, what I said. Oh shit. Clips. I did see clips coming out. You know, now I finally have somebody to talk about hip hop. I've been wondering, what is your thought on the I've seen a criticism that Pusha's doing a lot of dissing. He's dissing Travis Scott, which I did hear that diss, and he's dissing it's funny. Initially, I did not know he was talking about Travis Scott. I just thought he was just rapping, and then it's been pointed out it's dissing. Apparently, he's dissing Kanye. I've heard people criticize Push because of this. Now, I'm a big Pusha T fan. I'm a big Clips fan. And it's also the truth that more people are going to watch because he's dissed some of these people. But what say you that, okay, you know, he had the wave when he dissed Drake. That was probably his most successful project, that Daytona and that whole wave. It's probably his best project as a solo artist, arguably. And then is he relying on dissing basically as marketing? Which I kind of say, yeah, but like, so like if he's still good, like these are still good songs that I was going to listen to regardless. Like, you know what I mean? Part of me mainly is because I'm starting to think as a artist that is actively trying to figure out how to market music, where I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck. Because if we're going to live in an era where motherfuckers don't want to listen to shit unless everybody else likes it, then you kind of got to do whatever the fuck you got to do to get the shit out here. So even if it is, I'm becoming a person who's leaning to the artist side just off the strength of, now I'm the artist. Like, this shit's fucking hard to get your music out there. So, like, who gives a fuck if that's what he's doing? Like, yeah, I would have listened to it. You would have listened to it regardless. But there's a lot of people who wouldn't have. And there's a lot of people who need controversy to listen to music. As we just seen with the fucking Drake Kendrick thing. And I find myself now starting to support at least Drake's lawsuit for all the bullshit it's discovering. There's the shit about Spotify and the bots and all this shit. Like, even if you thought the suing him was a bitch move, and you could argue that it was, or suing the label was a bitch move, from my perspective, it's like this is the best thing ever to expose all that shit in open court and expose the major label system in open court. It's like this is music to my fucking ears. But what say you about the whole controversy about that? I'll see what you say. Clips coming out. Yep. The thing is, the grabber was killed at the end of the first movie. So how can it be a sequel? Maybe a prequel. 90s hip hop is the GOAT. That's positive too. Cause all the boom bap and shit I'm making. People are bitching about dissing. That's a good point. It is a staple of the game. It is a staple of the game. Everything is gay now. I'm at the point where I don't give a fuck if it was just marketing. And he's got reason to diss Kanye. I mean, fuck. They were all on the label together. Everything was smooth. This motherfucker start tweaking. He started doing Galaxy Gas and start tweaking, and now everything ain't smooth no more. So that's plenty of reason just to be pissed at him. And I wasn't the biggest Travis Scott. He's got songs I like. But I mean, I wasn't the big. That's not. But he's a huge star. I mean, shit. They even put him on fucking WWE. He was supposed to do another WWE event. I think he was supposed to be not Night of Champions. I think he was supposed to be at Money in the Bank. It was a bitch move because he did the same shit every album he make. Is you talk about the Drake thing? Yeah, I'm not gonna argue whether or not it was a bitch move. He absolutely did the same thing, but from my perspective, I'm glad he's doing it. I'm glad the major label streaming bullshit is being exposed. Drake. Yeah, it took me a second to catch it, but yeah, I don't necessarily agree or disagree. I mean, Kanye was a bitch move, but it's like, you know what? Glad he did it. Glad that and not because I dislike Kendrick. I dislike UMG. I dislike the fact that you need to be on UMG for anyone to hear your music. I dislike the fact that we are in this corporately controlled monopoly of art and entertainment. And while there is a healthy underground in a lot of these forms, including hip hop, and there are a lot of people who are still looking for the underground hip hop shit. A lot of people are talking about that 2 Chainz and Larry June project really need to get a Grammy, which I don't know if it does or doesn't, because I don't really care about the Grammys, but people feel that strongly about that project because that's a bit of the underground getting a little bit more of a mainstream view because of 2 Chainz. So as a guy who's about to put some skin in the game musically, anything that's a shot at Spotify, anything that's a shot at the major label system, I'm pro. I'm pro. Anaconda meta reboot with Jack Black. Yeah, we came across that. Jack, is it going? You said meta reboot? Do you mean meta like it's supposed to be with the company Meta, or Meta as in the concept like it's he's a streamer type shit? Which I didn't look up and see if there was a trailer of the Anaconda, but I did see. We did come across it when we were looking at all those movies. But yeah, I mean, listen. I think that whole beef, it looks like was about that. It looks like that whole beef was about Drake re-signing or not to UMG. It looks like it really wasn't about Kendrick. Kendrick was the guy they were going to use to. They say, okay, if Drake is going to leave UMG, which I think Drake was just trying to get a bigger contract with UMG, but like if he does leave, we need to push somebody as our star, and these people already got a little beef brewing. So let's push Kendrick as the star. Let Drake put him over on the way out on some wrestling type shit, on some Hulk Hogan's going to WCW. He's got to lose the title type shit, and let's push Kendrick. And that's what I think that whole beef real. Not saying they didn't really have reasons to dislike each other or whatnot, but I think that's what that beef was really about. It was really about Drake and UMG. And I wouldn't have picked it on boy. If you would have told me I'm rooting for Drake in a lawsuit, I wouldn't have guessed that. Do I think that was quote unquote hip hop? No, not really. But again, if you're gonna shit on UMG, you're gonna make UMG's job harder, and I gotta big that up. Yeah, ain't shit not fake. Yeah, that's why. Again, I'm on Push's side. I just have heard the controversy. What are your thoughts on it? Yeah, art's dead. Corporate profit rules the world. If we're gonna live in that world, any shot at the corpos, I'm gonna be positive, even if it's coming from another corpo. Even if it is a bitch move. It's a bitch move for him, but it's shit. Fuck UMG and fuck Spotify. That's why even when we drop, I'm gonna drop my shit early. I'm not gonna focus on dropping. I will drop it on Spotify, but I'm gonna focus on Bandcamp and my own site and YouTube and TikTok and everything else. TikTok, Instagram first, and then whenever I fucking feel like I'll drop it to Spotify. That's where I'm doing, so I can get it out. Especially the first two, I'm mixing myself, and then hopefully from there, start doing singles, where I can get each single mixed by itself, market by itself, and at least get a single or two a month. So that's going to be the goal. And then that way I can drop. And I want them lined up. So basically I'll have the next 6 months to a year as far as drops already planned and just then executing. That's what we're doing right now. So fuck Spotify and fuck these labels. I hope you eat each other. You know what I'm saying? Chicken jockey meme isn't a dick riding joke. I don't get the chicken jockey meme, and I know it sucked for the motherfuckers who had to clean it up and clean up all the popcorn and shit. But at the same time, I was surprised there was any backlash. It's like, aren't the theaters dying? And you have a bunch of young people who don't go out to do shit anymore. Which who can blame them because everything's fucking expensive. But you got a bunch of young people coming to your theaters. That used to be normal. The movie theaters lived off teenagers when I was young, all the way back to the 50s. And you haven't had that in like 10, 15 years. And finally there's a movie that kids want to go see, and you're shitting on them because they might throw a little popcorn. Fuck you, man. You want this money or not? Like, you either want this money or you don't. Yeah, I remember dollar theaters. I used to love dollar theaters. You could go see an old movie in the theaters. Still had the popcorn, still sneak in some candy and shit. Yeah, fuck everybody. Yeah, I'm with you. And so, yeah, okay, so the fucking Anaconda movie is about a cast of filmmakers trying to shoot another Anaconda, but it goes wrong. That sounds horrible. They're not putting any effort into this shit. I mean, the word slop is absolutely the word, man. This is absolute slop. That is slop. That type of pitch is what it takes to get a movie made. But we have Jack Black attached to it. Oh, really? Okay, we'll make it then. He's a wacky guy. People like Jack Black. Like, how does that get produced? Yeah, he runs the Super Bowl halftime show. Isn't it funny there's no Jay-Z trial? Was he accused of all the same shit? Did he? I guess, well, whatever, you know. Whatever. I'm sorry, I'm paying too much attention. So no, Drake won't be able to respond there. Even if it was cheap, why would I spend $5 to see a crap movie? I mean, what was the dollar show? It sometimes be like $1.20, $1.75, some shit like that. The popcorn was the same price. But that was the real gimmick, is that, you know, especially if you was a kid, you could get to see, you know, Toy Story was out, but it ain't out no more. But you still want to see Toy Story because you're 12 years old, and it's like 99, 2000. Oh, you get to, you know, see Toy Story at the theater still. It was in an era where movies were better, so that helps. So it's like, oh, you can get to see Remember the Titans even though it's a year later in the theater. Okay, that's cool. That's something to do on a Saturday, and then maybe go out and get something to eat. There's something to do. You know, there was one in Detroit. There's an arcade across the street or in the same mall across from it. So there's just something to do. The TTS and the fish tank keep calling one of the contestants a chicken jockey. I don't get it. That's that show you were talking about, that 24-hour stream. I don't know. They had him in Canada, 65 cents American for a movie. That's dope. Those were the days. I think I have a few. Yeah, I can give y'all shitty ideas if y'all want to. If y'all just need which it just seems like Hollywood. Like, listen, we do a lot of money laundering. We just need movies to exist with recognizable properties and just to use for money laundering. And so, if they want to do a meta of Wakanda, we'll get to launder a couple $100 million through it. I have no. Who wants to see that? Or Liam Neeson as the naked guy? Like, who wants to see this? He does seem way slicker at this demon shit than Diddy. Apparently, Diddy wasn't married to Beyonce, so he's not immune. Maybe that is it. Maybe that is it. Because I just don't know why Jay-Z. I know, listen, there's enough execs, the Clive Davises, I mentioned Dan Snyder, all these other people in the Hollywood greater universe who are getting away with it. But like Jay-Z is like directly connected to Diddy and a lot of these. And it's just like nothing's touching him. Fucking Teflon. Fucking Teflon. And he's still the guy behind the halftime show. Still to this day with the NFL right now. Right now. You know, one of the biggest money-making entertainment things that are going in the United States is the NFL. It's not, it might be the biggest at this point. Why wouldn't it be? When video games and movies are falling off the way they are, and the music industry is falling off. It's still the movies are falling off so bad that music makes more than movies, and we see that industry's dying and everyone's getting fucking laid off. I don't know what Jay-Z. He's clearly more slicker than Diddy. Saw Cop and a Half in the Dollar Theater as a kid doing something. I did not talk about the flooding, but I did see it. There was flooding in Houston, apparently some in Austin too. I didn't see that, but my grandma called me worried that it was flooding. I'm lucky where I'm at, and I'm not dealing with too much flooding, but the rain, you know, it's like this property's kind of on a slope, on a small slope, and you can see it come up. It has not gotten to the door yet, but it gets closer and closer throughout some of these rainstorms. But I did not talk about the flooding, and I did see some of that. Oh, man, we've been going. Shit. Did not realize how long we've been going. Usually I've been in these streets an hour and a half. I guess we'll at least get to 3. But no, I can show some of this flooding in Houston, man. And I'm still thinking of where do I want to move long term. I kind of don't want to make a decision long term. But I love being in Houston. I like being in a part of Houston I'm at. But I'm not a big fan of this flooding. Oh, man, they're playing the Christopher Reeve Superman online right now. I just want to look up like the flooding and whatnot. Like, if you want to see good Superman, it's right here. Go ahead and watch it. You can watch it now. The classic shit. So, there you go. There you go. As long as it wasn't swarms of locusts. Well, they do got big ass bugs out here. Just look at flooding in Texas. Oh man.
As far as the number of people that may be lost, maybe the number of fatalities. As you mentioned, they have confirmed some fatalities. We just don't have a clear picture yet. When you look at those images, this has just been an unprecedented historical flooding event. They're watching our coverage through some of our affiliates there. I mean, this is an area, keep in mind that today on the 4th, there were campgrounds there. There were homes. There were people that were seemingly caught off guard by this flooding that just happened so rapidly, so fast. Number of people that are unaccounted for. Officials are urging everyone to stay home right now because unfortunately they're saying this weather event is not over. You mentioned the Guadalupe River there rising significantly. I believe the number was somewhere about 22 feet in just 3 hours. These are just unheard of numbers when you talk about some of the images that you're seeing there. So again, right now we are just expecting an update from officials. We know there are a number of reunification centers that are being set up right now, and there's just a plethora of information, a number of people sharing videos of some of the devastation. And again, as we know with these weather events, we really won't get a full scope of the damage until some of this water has started to recede, which good news in some areas it is. But again, some additional rainfall is expected, which unfortunately just adds insult to injury in a scenario like this.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated.
Yeah, like I said, that Grab my call, just make sure I was okay. And yeah, this is comments talking about how there's no more FEMA. Stayed at camp 10 miles from there. Yeah, I hope Matt's cool. I know it's supposed to be in the Austin area. Jeez. That's fucking nuts. That's fucking nuts. So yeah, I hope everybody's safe, or as many people are safe. I've only been out to Austin one time. And I know it wasn't Austin, it's Kerrville or something. So it's a suburb. It's Central Texas. So hope everybody's safe. That's pretty scary. There was flooding in Houston too. I saw some of the freeways flood in the past couple days. So it's just been flooding. So that's the one thing about Texas is the weather does get pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. Oh Jesus, they're doing a chair. Because I was looking up movies, now my algo has to show me movies. They're doing a Sherry and Lamb Chop movie? Is this a documentary at least? We don't need a lamb. If it's a documentary, I'll maybe check it out. I mean, I'm going to check out this trailer in front of you guys, see what this is. Not to just, change subjects.
What we want is to have an entertaining series. Yeah. With interesting characters. Yeah, that people like. Yeah. And care about. Yeah. Thank you.
And I'm not sure if you guys remember Lamb Chop as a kid. I remember Lamb Chop as a kid. This is the song that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. And so, I mean, if this is just a documentary, like they've done one on Mr. Rogers and stuff, like, okay, that's cool. But if this is a biopic, man, leave everybody. We don't need to know about everybody who ever celebrity ever in their life, man. Just leave this shit alone. Leave these people families alone. Just leave this shit alone. And honestly, we need a biopic of this.
You're welcome.
In the early days of television, there really were no kid shows. And for Sherry to come along, have puppets, comedy, I just knew this was different.
What's that? What's what? That thing? That's a camera.
Okay, it's a documentary.
She made sure you wanted to love those characters.
Sherry was able to speak to issues controversial for a woman in that era.
Well, we get it. She speaks to issues. She made a show about puppets that was for kids, man. I mean, maybe they had an issue, but come on, man. Puppet lives matter. Yeah, like, come on, man. I can't even watch a documentary about some shit I used to watch as a kid. Well, we got to speak to the issues and come on, bro. Come on, bro. And so out here I'm sweating like Stephen Hawking on Epstein Island. He's still the most interesting list that has come out as one of those island boys. Like Sherry Lewis, like leave this shit alone, man. Leave this shit alone. It was a cool show that lasted for a long time about puppets and different characters. It was for kids. It was entertaining. It didn't brain rot the kids. Leave her alone, man. Jesus Christ. There's woke issues of alienation and womanhood and feminism and people of color, and it's just, come on, man. It was a cool show when I was 9 years old or 8 years old, and it was fun to watch. You know what I mean? It was fun. It was cool for me, for 8-year-old me. It might be somewhat interesting to see how some of these people, but I mean, just leave it alone. Literally, puppet lives matter. But yeah, going back to fucking Stephen Hawking, out of all the assholes to be on that list, like, what the fuck? It's really not surprising, but it is. It's like, really, you're supposed to be this brilliant scientist. You already got all these physical issues, and you're like a kid diddler? Like, what the fuck? Like, when that came out, I'd have never guessed in a million years he was like a island boy. They have to address, I could see myself in Lamb Chop. Like, yeah, come on, it's fucking Lamb Chop. Fuck me, man. It ain't that. Just let. If you want to tell the story, that's cool. Tell her a little story. It is okay. She was a woman in early TV, and it wasn't a lot. Okay, I grant you that, man. But like, it was a show for kids to just enjoy and to not think about a bunch of. I think that's one thing some of these motherfuckers get. A lot of this shit was made for us not to think about heavy bullshit. And maybe if it did present a heavy episode, you know, you have a Static Shock episode where there's a school shooter. Maybe you got an episode or two of some heavy shit, right? But it was mainly just to be cool and entertain to people and for us to escape the bullshit of the day. And for some reason, that's lost on everybody making entertainment. Like, we just want to just watch something and not think about everything. Even F1 has a little bit of, even though, I mean, it's not much, but a little, I don't want to go as far as saying there's any wokeness, but that's teased. Yeah, the racist dad. They had the racist dad episode too. So yeah, you're Static Shock for most things. That was probably, you know, you did have a few episodes. Because even that school shooter, that's when what's his name got shot. But so I'm not gonna say you never had any issues tackled in media at all, but it's just like, it's not all. Who just knows who knows who it is? Oh Lord. Yeah, I'm sick of the problematic. Just like, come on, man. Yeah, this movie is another one. You know, there's a trailer of, I didn't know it was 2 months old. I think The Rock is either producing this or maybe it's him in it. Oops.
Probably looking at my eyes.
How did that happen?
Well, have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC?
That's the bloody thing they're trying to ban.
This guy is the best he has ever seen.
Do you hate each other when you fight?
Absolutely not.
How do you know Mark Kerr?
Oh, we go way back. But he's a buddy of mine.
Come on, baby. Too much?
Never.
Too much?
No.
Please welcome in his Octagon debut, Mark Kerr!
Winning is the best feeling there is. It's 40,000 people, and they're cheering you on. There's no other high like it in the world. No contract, no money?
No money.
Do you have any stronger pain medication?
Advil?
Boss Ruin!
Yeah.
Don, would you like?
No.
They're handing them out like candy. Let's all get in. Let's all.
Is that
everybody
Usyk?
get in.
Is it cameo?
Don, can you take
There's
this picture
Usyk.
for us?
Yeah.
What are you thinking at the beginning of the fight?
It's simple. Am I going to hurt him before he hurts me?
Okay, I'm probably gonna watch this. I'm sorry.
I'm sure
This is Grand Prix to crown the greatest fighter in the world. He has come back from the brink. Let's see if he can pull out a victory over Mark Coleman.
Have you spoken to either about fighting such a good friend for a life-changing amount of money?
I just need you to let me in.
Always about you. Only about fighting you.
Let's fucking go.
It kind of looks
Strong man, I love
Smash Machine. Honestly, out of
You
all the
can watch
movies,
your
we've seen-
autograph.
Sure, no problem. No fighting.
October 3rd, day after my birthday. Out of all the movies we saw the trailers for, that looks the most interesting. To see that early Pride UFC era. I'm not sure about the love story they try to push, but I mean, I guess it's still interesting. I mean, see that era, see him. I'm not a Rock guy either. I'm not a Rock guy. And yeah, this is the Rock trying to be serious actor guy. But Boss and Usyk are in. I mean, they wouldn't. They would co-sign for the check, right? But just he is trying to be the serious actor. I'm trying to be serious. This is a serious movie, but it's a cool compared to all the other shit. I mean, I know I just shitted on biopics, but I don't know much about Mark Kerr. I don't know much. I know a little bit about that early era of MMA. So it does look a lot more interesting than fucking Mortal Kombat 2 or Naked Gun or Anaconda or I Know What You Did Last Summer or Fantastic Four or yeah, let's fucking go was not a common used phrase when this was set. Yeah, that's right. But I mean, it wasn't like no one had ever said it. I can't remember when people obviously a lot of people are saying it now all the time. But people have said it before this era even. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. I mean, even in the 2000s, people were saying it. Obviously now it's become a meme and people say it all the time. But I mean, it's, just like Aura. This is not the first time people said Aura. And now it's aura farming and stuff like that. But that's a word that has existed in the zeitgeist of like somebody's aura or whatever. And now it's just got repopularized. So, but yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some inaccuracies. There always is with biopics. Which is why I don't get too excited about them mostly. But just compared to all the slop we've seen. And yeah, it is Rock trying to be his, it's at least worth checking it out. Sailing, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm pro piracy, man. In this era, if you're not going to give us even worthwhile shit, I am absolutely pro piracy. But like, I'll give it a shot. I'll probably give it a shot. I'll probably sell for it whenever it drops. And I mean, Rock's, you can still tell it's him in some shots, but in other shots, it seemed like they really want him to disappear into that role. So we'll see how it goes. Tarantino is supposedly working on one more movie. He's only got one more movie he said he wanted to do. And he's working on it. I don't know what it is. But he said he's doing one more movie and it's supposed to be being worked on. And I guess we'll find out. I'm not sure if he's writing it. If it's being filmed, I'm not sure what stage it's in, but he's talking about doing one more because he doesn't want to do it. Yeah, yep, Central Joe. He's working on his last one. So I'm not sure how far along he's on with it. I'm not sure if it's cast, not, but it's being worked on. Robert Rodriguez, I have no clue. I will hope he's still doing movies. Hopefully he doesn't retire. It sucks that Quentin is retiring. I mean, I do get the idea you don't want to see yourself. He doesn't want to. He wants to go out close to on top. You can argue his peak is when he started, but I mean he still is making solid movies, solid original plots. Remember original plots? Pepper's Farm does. So it sucks to see one of those people that still make original plots leave the film space when that's so desperately needed. We need a new Quentin Tarantino. Never get a Tarantino Cruise movie. Both have to be total control. Well, Cruise doesn't even write the movies until they film. They film the stunts and then they fill in the movie in between the stunts afterwards. That's what he's been doing for the past 3 or 4, maybe even more than that, Mission Impossibles. They film a bunch of stunts and they make up a movie around it. So I don't know how anyone could work like that, but that's what they're doing. So that's a good question, Brandon Holland. As terrible as Weinstein's rep was as a person, he seems to be one of the last great Hollywood creatives, one of the last people to give a Robert Rodriguez or a Quentin Tarantino, even when they're young and unknown, here's all the freedom you want to make something original. And others, this is the last guy to be an exec that understood the creative process of movies. It sucks that he was a pervert. I'm not trying to cape for him being a despicable human being, especially when all of Hollywood is, man. There's no one else still doing that. I mean, you can see different times where, and I think I even talked about it in one of these streams, where Quentin Tarantino's like, yeah, they wanted to take all, rest in peace, Michael Madsen. The famous scene with him Here I am stuck in the middle with you. Here I am stuck in the middle with you. I fucked it up the first time. Where he's slicing the guy up to that song. They test screened it. They screened it at different festivals. Everybody hated that scene. All the test screening hated that scene. And Weinstein goes to Quentin Tarantino. He says, man, this is a great movie. You don't need this scene. And Quentin just says, no, man, it's got to be in there. And he relents. He says, remember, we did that. Remember, Miramax gave you the freedom to do that. And it obviously goes on to be an iconic scene. But he let it go where if that was a different executive, if that was a modern executive, that scene's not going to be in the movie. And it's one of the honestly, Reservoir Dogs is to me still Quentin's best work. To me. But that scene wouldn't have been in the movie if you had a modern executive. You just wouldn't. So it's like, and there's a bunch of scenes in other movies, even ones that Quentin. There's a bunch of media like that went through Miramax. They were, and that's not gonna happen. Wasn't Miramax a Disney project too? I think that was a Disney owned studio. I know they had a few of them. Touchstone for sure was one where they owned studios that didn't have the Disney name, so they could have more freedom. And so, as much as we talk shit about Weinstein, he's the perfect type of exec. Someone who allowed creative freedom in his movies. Just sucks he was a fucking demon and a creep. Candace Owens, bro. She is such a thought, man. She is such a legitimate whore. She will go with whatever the clout is. Like she says some stuff that, I wish her the best. I hope nothing happens to her. Because she's criticized Winston's crew quite a bit. Especially considering Weinstein. But no, Harvey absolutely was a scapegoat, bro. He absolutely was a scapegoat. I'm not trying to cape for what he did. It's fucked up. But he was a scapegoat he was just a guy doing that out there, man. Can't have that corporal yeah, man. This corporal by committee risk aversion movie making style doesn't make good movies. It just doesn't. You can make mid movies at best. You can make mid movies that people got even though I really like F1, that's still it's not, I mean, the cinematography is incredible. But the film outside of the racing scenes, it ain't Shakespeare. And that's one of the better movies I've seen over the past few years. I mean, most of these movies getting made, they're not great, and we're seeing too much corporal interference. That's why we've been able to get burnt out with superhero movies, because until very recently, you only made superhero movies for like 15 years. You wouldn't put out a movie unless it had a fucking cape in it for 15 fucking years. And you got rid of all rom-coms. You got rid of all basic action movies outside John Wick. It was the only real series that negates this. And I guess if you want to consider Fast and the Furious, but I consider the Fast and the Furious to be superhero movies personally because of what they became. They certainly aren't driving movies anymore. And so outside of Fast and the Furious and John Wick, everything had to be a cape. Even if you want to make a movie for women, you put a bunch of feminists in it and called it Harley Quinn's Fantabulous Mysterious Magic Tour, whatever the fuck they called that dumbass movie. Before they just called it Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad, whatever it ended up being. I forgot what it ended up being. What was it, Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey? Whatever they called it. But the reason you had that, or you had Ghostbusters 2016, or what's the shit, the Terminator where they killed John Connor, because they didn't make any movies for women. And their focus groups told us, well, these are feminist-leaning movies, so they'll do well with women. But instead, they did well with no one. Because they stopped making movies for women. They stopped making, as stupid as it may sound, what's the shit, the 50 Shades of Grey and the Twilight and those movies that they just said, nope, we're just going to make, we're just going to put a chick in and make it gay and lame. and try to get chicks to watch Star Wars or get chicks to watch Marvel or get chicks to watch all this other shit because we put a bunch of feminist propaganda in it and nobody watched. And so we've been doing that for 15 years because that's all corpo. And we see corpos cannot make original property anymore. But as you guys mentioned, 84, we had like an original movie every fucking week, which all went on to be an original franchise was made down there every week in the 80s. You know, saying there's other years in the 80s, RoboCop and all this other shit comes out each, every week is a new classic movie. And it's just dead. Holy shit. Houston beat the Dodgers 18-1. I did not see that. Was that the last Quentin Tarantino movie made, by the way? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Said that was a fun movie. 18-1. Shit. I'll be following Houston. Houston has a good team. It's a good team. A lot of people thought it was going to be a down year. Rapper 4 Extra blows up his hand with fireworks. I am not familiar with this, but I know a lot of people. I'm a rapper too. If something happens to me, I don't think it should include rapper in the headline. Just like that chick who tried to sue Uber or Lyft because she was too fat. She's a rapper, but it's like she's not a rapper. Like, you know what I mean? So some guy blew up his hand who made some rap songs. I've never heard of 4 Extra. I wish him the best. I mean, it sucks that he blew up his hand. Good thing he had 4 Extra. I've never heard. If you hadn't mentioned his name, I would never know who he was. I wish him the best. I'm sorry to say that, it's about somebody I don't know. And I don't know if he's like some legendary rapper I should have heard of. I've never heard of him. He's a California rapper. Oh, man. Let me see. I gotta look up his Spotify. So how many? So this esteemed rapper that you're talking about had, and listen, hopefully in the next year I can get to this level. So I'm not trying to shit on anybody. But 8,900 master listeners. He's a verified artist. He's got one song with 200,000 streams. Let me see what we got here. There are 3 songs on the Spotify. In a month, well, I don't know when I'm going to drop it on Spotify, so I won't say it. By the end of the year, I will have way more songs than this on Spotify. So I don't think he's that established. That's what I'm trying to say. Sucks about his hand, though. Sucks about his hand. If he can live, I highly doubt he's living off those numbers, man. It looks like he put money behind one of those songs that got 100,000 listens, and that's about it. And listen, I get it. He's, if something happens to me, don't just rapper and streamer. That's not what I mean. I'm here. I'd rather just don't even mention it. Now, if I got like 500,000 monthly listeners and 500,000 subs, then you can mention it. But if it's just me, regular ass me with less than 1,000 subs, don't mention he's a YouTube streamer and he's a rap. Like, don't do that, please. I'm begging you guys. Like, don't, because it's not like that's all I am. Like, I'm really not. Like, as I love it and I want it to be more. And I'm, like I said, I'm putting skin in the game. But nah. Nah, man. And hey, listen, I want to get to 9,000 monthly listeners and songs on that. They say, yeah, it's true. All you need is 1,000 fans. If you're good, if you're not retarded, yeah. They say that's true. NFL channel playing Anthony Richardson games. That's weird. Maybe because they know his career is over. I've got to do the NFC South this coming week. The Vikings video will be out tomorrow. I should have told it out today. I wanted to give some space. I thought maybe the Green Bay Packers video. I don't know what it is about the Bears. Everybody loves the Bears. Everybody saw the Bears video. Nobody cared about the Packers and Lions. The 2 teams I think are actually going to battle for the division, but whatever. That's Chicago's fan. That's the Chicago as a market. You put Chicago on something, it's a big market. That's why they do everything for Chicago. Anthony Richardson's done. He's done for. That's it. That experiment's over. Unless Danny Dimes gets hurt. Jalen Higgins reminds you of Drake London, cheaper Drake London. Man, I'm going back and forth about my Texans prediction because I did have them so sky high, but I'm like, man, that offensive line, even though I think it's going to be improved, I'm comparing it to other predictions I have, right? And it's like, I want to be consistent, and I don't want to be too much of a homer. So I feel like maybe I got to be a little less high on that Texans. Even I still think they're going to win this division, but I'm not sure if they're going to win the AFC. Even though I'm still picking them as my Super Bowl pick, they're still going to be my Super Bowl pick, but we'll see. Every team needs a dude person. There was another crazy college football name I saw the other day. There's a few of them. We checked the other day. It was dude person, Noah, Ninja, I'll say. There's a bunch of them. Weird college football player names. Oh man, is it not gonna check? The fuck? Okay, so if you guys weren't here that day, it's okay. Not interested, Google. We got General Booty, Mo Blitty, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Chief Borders, The Realest Clark, The Coldest Crawford, Fat Watts, Pig Cage, Tiger Shanks. These are real names. Fish McWilliams, Storm Duck, which sounds like a Duckwing Duck character that just wasn't made. Kowalski Smoke, Major Burns, Rocky Beers, Boogie Knight, Parker Titsworth, Memorable Factor, Fools Rowdy Beers, Buck Course, Panda Askew, Blazin' Lana Wong, Bumper Pool, and Dylan Deathrich. They didn't even put Dude Person up there. There's another one, Dude Person. That's where they got us on that. So, yeah. Unreal. These are real names. Storm Duck is a star. Is he? Is he going to be the starting CB? Yeah, because sometimes they're old. Older names from a couple years ago. Yeah, I've seen people rank, Texans at the 32nd offensive line. That kind of scared me. I'm like, oh, man, what if they are? CIA, maybe. I don't know. Some of those names just like, how did that? Like, shouldn't you get your kid, if you name your kid Storm Duck, like, doesn't the CPS at least visit you? Like, okay, your kid is named Storm Duck? Yeah, there's funnier ones. That was just what Google showed me this moment. There's even crazier ones than that. It's Storm Duck. That's a wild. To me, that's the wildest. Storm Duck. Like, how is that allowable of a name? That's not illegal to name. I can name my son Storm Duck. Yeah, he plays with the Dolphins. What's his real name? His real name is Storm Chandler Duck. So his parents was allowed to put Storm Duck on his birth certificate, and they cool with it. It's Phyllis and Todd Duck. He was named after Storm Logan. For the bold and the beautiful. Shout out to South Carolina. Shout out to Spartanburg, Greenville. That's crazy. And he's an undrafted free agent. And he made the roster last year. So he probably will end up being a starter after Ramsey's gone. That's unreal. Storm Duck, he's a pro player now. Couldn't be a match named Boogie Knight. Unreal. That's true too. Because a lot of these old linemen were on other teams. And here's another weird thing. There's other teams that had bad offensive linemen, like the Vikings, like the Bears, that people have higher, but they're in the same boat of we have to put together a new offensive line from a bunch of new players. And I do think something is happening because so many people got Laramie Tunsil and they just look at him as, well, he's one of the best tackles and you just traded him away. Therefore, your team's going to be worse. But, you know, and I know it's been rumored. I know they still try to deny it that, oh, he wasn't a bad chemistry. But the rumor was that Laramie Tunsil was a fucking asshole and they made the offensive line miserable. That's what the rumor is. The rumor is this is addition by subtraction. I don't know if he did. And this is something I'm dealing with. This is why it's taking me a while to actually get the AFC South done, because I got to figure this out. And I'll probably be talking this out. You might hear some of the stuff in the video I do, which should be out by Monday. I'm going to start off with the best team, I think, in the division for most divisions, even if I get it wrong. But the rumor was that Tunsil was an asshole. And he fucked up. He helped fuck up the chemistry of the O-line. That shouldn't matter. Everybody's a pro. But I feel for Caserio having to deal with. They had a very expensive but ineffective offensive line last year, and to me, they did the best you can. There's a lot of battling. People are going to have to battle for their spot on this offensive line. There's a lot of depth, so that can make up for the offensive line. You also got a lot of receivers, a lot of pass catchers. I'm sure you're planning on at least doing 3, 4, not 5 wide quite a bit and spreading teams out so you make at least easier for your quarterback to identify the rush, a lot more shotguns type stuff. And there's the fact that I think there's only so many great offensive linemen in the league. Most teams do not have a perfect offensive line. So if you don't scheme around it, if you don't run screens, if you don't run draws, if you don't run misdirection, if you don't do anything, and you just go base vanilla like Slowick did, you can make your offensive line a lot worse. So I don't think they're going to be the worst one, but I do wonder if I'm underplaying it because I'm a little bit of a homer. Like if they could very easily be 25th worst offensive line. I mean, I think with the running game, you would think with you done sign Nick Chubb as now your secondary running back. You already had pretty good running backs behind, even though he's in a walking boot. My brain just melted. But you would think you're going to get enough from the running game and from the pass catchers and from, you should have a lot of people who can work out of the slot between Kirk and the 2 rookies. You think you got enough to mash this offensive line, even if it's not that great. But we'll see. You still have a first-year play caller. And I guess that's where I was like, I got to be somewhat consistent because I'm saying this is going to be an issue for the Bears, but it's not going to be an issue for the Texans. I don't know. Adding a run game is going to help for real. Tunsil and Tyus Howard would have started tackles. And the last 5 years, the run game always sucked. Yeah. Tunsil had a lot of raw talent. Yeah. His surname Duck he couldn't control, but Storm makes it sound, yeah. Duck you couldn't control, but calling him Storm as his real name, I'm naming my son Storm now. That's it. No, I'm gonna name my son King, and then I'm gonna name my son. I gotta give him I'm gonna name my son Wolverine, and my daughter Storm. Hopefully, they haven't had a storyline. Because if they did, then that's weird. So I gotta research, make sure they ain't crossed over, and he ain't fuck her. Anyways, they want to change the culture of the O-line room. Them having a running game, that's another thing. They drafted a running back and they signed a running back, so that should give them a lot more carries. Plus, what's the guy who's been here? I know he was a special teamer, but I mean, you should get a lot more carries from the run game to make your life a lot easier. And you do got to also, for better or for worse, CJ has been dealing with a shitty offensive line for a while. So if he's been dealing with a shitty offensive line, he's also adapted. And most quarterbacks can't deal with the pressure he deals with. So I'm still high on them, but I do got to think because of the offensive line. So let's see what Sentient has for us.
Gives you the power of AI to build the website.
I've seen this. I'll play it, but I've seen this. And you know what? this is who commercial hip hop is for. So it's but I've seen these guys, and a lot of people are using their versions of songs and memes. But yeah.
Plug walk.
I've seen this.
I don't even understand how the fuck my plug talk.
I didn't like the original version of this song.
Space coupe, I don't let my plug walk. Skirt full up in a space. New freak had to cut my other little bitch off. 50K, you could come and book a cracker for a plug walk. Big ol' Bentley, it's a spaceship.
See, I didn't like the original plug walk. These days, goofy on the internet. I mean, you know, we got Miles. We do have the comedy hip hop era. Okay, you know, they're singing a bunch of. Their taste in music is like specifically the one I don't have. Right? It's specifically a lot of songs I don't like. And I'm not the oldest of fogies. I've listened to some Cardi. I've listened to some of the newer artists I can try to tolerate, even though a lot of Cardi shit is trash, I'm gonna be honest. But, and yeah, you're right. If I name them shit, I gotta teach them MMA, which I would do anyway. If I have kids, I'm teaching them MMA and boxing, male or female. They will know it. Which apparently that's a more competitive thing. They are teaching kids that, but they will absolutely know it. So even if I name them like something crazy, like they'll be able to handle themselves. It's a harmonized skirt. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. So they look gay. I'm not a big fan of it. They might be. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, boxing, judo, wrestling. Definitely boxing and wrestling. And judo. Grappling still is important. But I think it's been overemphasized by the UFC. Because it's like in real life, if you're down on the ground, you can get stomped, kicked. All sorts of shit. They should at least allow knee. If they could at least allow knees to grounded opponents, I think that would be huge. Now, would you get knee drops off of that? Maybe. And I'm not saying that, but I mean, you should be able to dodge, protect yourself. It's like, fuck, this is a fight. Judo is definitely helpful. Any grappling art is going to be helpful. If you can use judo, use somebody's momentum, swing them over and slam them, you definitely are doing good. Because once you slam a motherfucker, especially slam a motherfucker hard, the fight's probably over. But yeah, but I would say that, yeah. I don't know if this take is what I would think. The best answer is run away because, guns exist, knives exist. But let's see what,
Here's why Muay Thai.
Oh, let's see what's going on. Why Muay Thai does not work on the streets.
Here's why Muay Thai does not work in a street fight. Look, he can't pivot his kicks if he's wearing shoes on concrete. And his guard is so high that he can't sprawl for takedowns. So now watch what happens.
Exactly, man. That's why the best way to defend yourself is to not deal with the situation, man. Because, especially we're in Texas. All that shit's fine, man. All the MMA you have is fine. But if you live in Texas, Florida, you live in the South, you live in a major city, you probably got a gun. You know what I'm saying? You probably got a gun. The link is there, so go ahead and say the link, Brandon Hollum. And so that's the truth about martial arts. No martial art teacher wants you to know about it, but that's the real truth, man. You got to be able to talk, and you got to be able to run. Talk your way out of it, man. I'm not listening. I apologize. I don't know what happened. I apologize. I don't want to do this. I know people don't want to hear that, but I'm just telling you how to live, man. How to stay alive. If you got to scrap, you got to scrap. But let's be honest, man.
Here's a.
Oh, you got a couple of these. I think I might have seen this guy before.
Here is a takedown with a 100% success rate guaranteed. So you're going to pump fake the jab, level change, fake the double leg, transition right.
Transition, right? Listen, if you're in, I'll tell you this. If somebody is reaching, you cannot let them get their hand up. If for ever God-forsaken reason you are in a confrontation and you're that close to them and they reach for anything, you got to stop them. You got to stop them. You got to get them down. You got to get out of there. Because if they reach, it's over, brother. If they reach, they will teach. All right, peace out, Fizz, for the second time and maybe the last time, because we got to get out of here. I cannot believe it's fucking 1 a.m. I did not expect that. Went 3+ hours. We'll be streaming again tomorrow. I think we are going to get out of here because I don't know how we're going to top that shit. We will do a music stream tomorrow. We're going to get out here with Fizz. Music stream tomorrow, Synthwave Saturday night over the phone. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how long it goes. I have to use a fill-in mask because my current mask is down for the count. I may even show you guys what happened to it. So we'll be using a fill-in mask to get that done. If you care about sports, we have a video about the Vikings coming out tomorrow, and then Monday we will be talking about the Texans, and then the rest of the week the AFC South. For the NFL fans, NFL is only a few weeks away from preseason, so it's coming up. So peace out. Good to have you back, Cinch your Dildo. Don't be a stranger. Show back up if you can. I know you got life stuff to do. So I appreciate you being here and all. Just like I appreciate Fizz, who apparently was the #1 fan, at least according to my analytics. At least whatever weird analytic thing I have on this version of YouTube. But in any event, thank you all, Cotton, Fizz, Brandon Hollum, Cinchit, Retro Richard, Small Time Republic. Let me make sure I get everybody I can. Forbidden Ruin. Listless was here for a little bit. Zax was here for a little bit. And if I miss you, blame my head, not my heart. I appreciate you all being here. Tom Jensen, of course. Glenzer as well. As I go further up, Glenzer was definitely here. And shout out to Glenzer. He's OG. So I appreciate you all being here. Yeah, happy July 4th. Not happy July 5th because it's currently July 5th here unless you're in Cali. Still got an hour of the 4th left. So if it's been real, it's been fun. It's been real fun. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night. God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.